Chapter 1. Broken Bonds. Serafina. I made it 3 blocks before my legs gave out. The alley behind the bakery smelled like yeast and garbage, but I didn't care. My knees hit the cobblestones hard enough to split skin, and I pressed my forehead against the cold brick wall, trying not to scream. The bond was killing me. Not metaphorically. Not dramatically. Actually killing me. Every breath felt like swallowing glass. My chest burned where the mate bond had snapped into place, right over my heart, a golden thread connecting me to him. Except he'd taken scissors to his end and cut it clean. The severed edge whipped around inside my ribcage like a live wire, sparking and searing. I could still feel him. That was the worst part. Prince Theron Silvermark, future king of the Lycan territories, stood somewhere in that glittering palace behind me. I felt his wolf pacing. Restless. Agitated. Good. I hoped he choked on his own guilt. My wolf whimpered deep in my mind, a sound so broken it made my eyes burn. He didn't want us. Shut up, I whispered to her, to myself, to the universe that thought this was funny. Just shut up. But she wouldn't. She kept replaying it. The moment our eyes met across the royal hall. The way time stopped. The way every cell in my body recognized him as mine. The mate bond slamming into place with enough force to drop me to my knees right there on the marble floor. 4. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, and then his face. Cold. Dismissive. Like I was nothing. I cannot acknowledge this bond. His voice had been so calm. So measured. Like he was declining tea, not destroying a life. Lady Isadora Moonshade and I are engaged. Our union will strengthen both our houses and secure the future of the realm. I'm sorry for any confusion. Confusion. He called a fated mate bond confusion. The she-wolf beside him, Isadora, perfect and poised in her silver gown, had smiled. Not cruel. Almost pitying. That somehow made it worse. I'd run. No dramatic speech. No tears in front of the court. I just turned and ran like the coward everyone already thought I was. My wolf snarled at that. We're not a coward. He is. Maybe. But he was a coward with a crown and a choice, and he'd made it. I forced myself to stand. My rented room was 2 more blocks. I could make it. I had to make it before someone saw the pathetic Omega, who'd been rejected by a prince, crying in an alley at midnight. The streets were empty, thank the moon. Most of the capital had turned out for the mate ceremony tonight, a grand social event where unmated wolves gathered to see if the fates smiled on them. The fates had smiled on me, all right, then laughed their asses off. My building was a narrow 3-story tucked between a butcher shop and a closed-down laundromat. The steps creaked under my feet. 3rd floor. No elevator. Of course. By the time I reached my door, I was shaking so hard I could barely get the key in the lock. The room looked even smaller than usual. 1 window overlooking the alley. A mattress on the floor. A mini fridge that buzzed too loud. A duffel bag with everything I owned. 5. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, I'd come to the capital 3 months ago with exactly $200 and a desperate plan. My old pack, the Riverside Collective, had made it clear there was no future for me there. Omega. Weak. Unmated. A burden. So I'd left. Found a job washing dishes at a diner. Scraped together enough for this room. Told myself things would get better. Then I'd heard about the royal mate ceremony. Open to all unmated wolves in the kingdom. A chance to find your fated match, maybe improve your station in life. I'd gone on a whim. A stupid, desperate whim. And I'd found my mate. The one person in the entire world meant for me. He just didn't want me back. The bond pulsed again, a searing reminder that it was still there. Still active. He'd rejected me, but he hadn't formally severed it. That required both wolves to accept the breaking. And my wolf, despite everything, wouldn't let go. He's ours, she whimpered. We need him. We don't need anyone, I said out loud, my voice cracking. But that was a lie. The bond wasn't just emotional. It was physical. Biological. A rejected but unbroken mate bond could drive a wolf insane. The constant pull towards someone who didn't want you. The phantom pain. The way your wolf slowly withered inside you, grieving for a connection that should have been perfect. I had two choices. Go back to Riverside and face the humiliation, or stay here and slowly fall apart. Neither seemed survivable. I grabbed my duffel bag and started throwing things in. 3 shirts, 2 pairs of jeans, underwear, my bathroom stuff, a photo of my parents, dead 6 years now, that I kept folded in my wallet. Everything. 6. Abandoned by the Lycan prints I owned fit in one bag. That should have been depressing, but right now it felt like freedom. If I had nothing, I could go anywhere. The decision crystallized like ice. I wouldn't go back to Riverside. I wouldn't stay here. I'd disappear. Go rogue. Find some neutral territory where no one knew me, and no one cared about pack politics or mate bonds or stupid princes. My savings were in a coffee can under the sink. $243. Enough for a bus ticket, and maybe a week in a cheap motel somewhere far away. I could do this. I'd survived worse. That was another lie, but I was getting good at those. I changed out of the dress I'd worn to the ceremony. A pale blue thing I'd bought secondhand, the nicest thing I'd ever owned. It felt like a costume now. A joke. I pulled on jeans and a hoodie, tied my dark hair back, and looked at myself in the cracked mirror by the door. I looked exactly like what I was. Young. Scared. Alone. 22 years old, and I'd already blown my one shot at happiness. Stop it, I told my reflection. You didn't blow anything. He did. The bond pulsed. A sharp spike of pain that doubled me over. He was moving. Coming closer. No. No, no, no. I grabbed my bag and ran. The stairs were a blur. The street outside was still empty, but I could feel him getting nearer. His wolf was hunting. Looking for me. Whether out of guilt or instinct, I didn't know and didn't care. The bus station was 6 blocks north. The last bus out tonight left in 20 minutes. If I missed it, I'd have to wait until morning, and by then he might find me. Might try to explain or apologize or make this somehow worse than it already was. 7. Abandoned by the Lycan prince. I ran. My wolf pushed strength into my legs even as she cried. She wanted to turn around. Wanted to find him. But she was weak from the rejection, and I was stronger than her for once in my life. The bus station glowed ahead. Fluorescent lights and the smell of diesel. 3 other people waited on the benches. 2 humans and an older wolf who didn't look at me. Perfect. I bought a ticket to Ironwood territory. Neutral ground. 5 hours away. The clerk didn't ask questions. The bus was already idling at the gate. I climbed on, found a seat in the back, and pressed my face against the window. The palace rose in the distance, all white stone and golden lights. Beautiful. Untouchable. Just like him. The bond twisted, and I gasped. He was close now. Maybe a block away. I felt his wolf's urgency, the way it pulled against his control. The bus doors hissed shut. Come on, I whispered. Come on, come on, come on. The engine rumbled. The bus lurched forward. And that's when I saw him. A massive black wolf stood in the shadows across the street from the station. Bigger than any wolf I'd ever seen. Even from here, I knew those eyes. Golden. Burning. Theron. Or what was left of him after his wolf tore free. He stared at the bus. At me. Through the dirty window, across 50 feet of darkness, our eyes locked. The bond sang. A chord of recognition so strong my vision blurred. His wolf took 1 step forward. Then stopped. Frozen. I pressed my hand against the glass. I couldn't help it. 8. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, he didn't move. Didn't howl. Just stood there as the bus pulled away, taking me and his rejected mate into the night. The last thing I saw before we turned the corner was him shifting back, naked and human on a street corner, his head in his hands. Then he was gone. I turned away from the window and curled into myself, bag clutched to my chest. My wolf howled inside my mind, a sound of pure grief that no one else could hear. I didn't cry. I was done crying. But the bond stayed open, a raw wound in my chest. And somewhere behind me, in a palace made of lies, my mate stood alone. Good. Let him feel it. Let him know what he'd thrown away. 9. Abandoned by the Lycan Prince. Chapter 2. The Prince's Mistake. Theron. The engagement contract sat on my desk, my signature still wet. I stared at it like it might bite me. Theron Silvermark, Crown Prince of the Lycan Territories, does hereby pledge his bond to Lady Isadora Moonshade of the Northern Houses. Formal. Binding. Permanent. Done. I should have felt relief. 3 years of negotiations between our families, finally complete. The alliance secured. My father pleased for once in his miserable life. The kingdom stable. Instead, I felt like I'd swallowed poison. My wolf raged inside my mind. He'd been screaming for the past hour, ever since I'd walked away from her. From our mate. Go back. Find her. Claim her. Shut up, I said out loud to the empty room. He snarled. The sound echoed in my skull, making my vision blur red at the edges. I dug my fingers into the desk until the wood cracked under my grip. She was nobody. An Omega, from some backwater pack. I didn't even know her name. Couldn't know her name. The moment I'd seen her across the royal hall, the moment the bond snapped into place like a lightning strike, I'd made my choice. Ignore it. Deny it. Destroy it. Because I was Crown Prince, and Crown Princes didn't get to follow their hearts. 10. Abandoned by the Lycan Prince, my father had drilled that into me since I was old enough to understand what duty meant. Love was a luxury. Mates were a fairy tale. Power and stability, those were what mattered. She's ours, my wolf howled. Ours. Ours. Pain exploded through my chest. The bond. I could still feel it there, frayed and bleeding but alive. I'd rejected her, but the connection hadn't broken. Couldn't break unless she accepted the rejection. And she'd run before I could finish the formal words. Smart girl. My wolf lunged against my control, trying to force a shift. I slammed my mental walls down harder, sweat breaking out across my forehead. If he got free, he'd hunt her down. Claim her. Complete the bond, whether I wanted it or not. I couldn't let that happen. A knock at the door. Sharp. Precise. Enter, I said, forcing my voice steady. Isadora glided in, still wearing her ceremony gown. Silver silk that matched her pale hair and cold eyes. Beautiful in the way a knife was beautiful. Sharp and dangerous if you got too close. You look terrible, she said. Thank you. She moved to the window, looking out at the city below. You're a wolf. Under control. Really? Because half the palace heard him howling. I didn't answer. There was nothing to say. Isadora turned to face me, her expression unreadable. We need to discuss what happened tonight. Nothing happened. Don't insult me, Theron. I felt it when your bond snapped. Everyone in that hall felt it. The entire room practically lit up. 11. Abandoned by the Lycan Prince, it doesn't matter. It matters because she's still out there. And as long as she is, you're compromised. I stood, my chair scraping back. I am not compromised. No. Isadora raised one perfect eyebrow. Then why is your hand bleeding? I looked down. I'd gripped the desk so hard my claws had extended, cutting into my own palm. Blood dripped onto the contract, staining the signature. Perfect. Symbolic. I grabbed a cloth and wrapped my hand. The bond will fade. Rejected connections always do. That's not true, and you know it. Rejected bonds don't fade if both parties don't accept the severing. She has to agree to let you go. Then I'll find her and make her agree. Will you? Isadora crossed her arms. Because from where I'm standing, you look like a man whose wolf is about to tear him apart from the inside. She was right. The bond was agony. Like someone had reached into my chest and started pulling. Every instinct I had screamed at me to find her. Protect her. Apologize. Claim her. No. I couldn't think like that. I'll handle it, I said. How? She's probably already left the city. If she's smart, she'll run as far as she can. Good. That would make this easier. The lie tasted bitter even in my own mind. Isadora studied me for a long moment. You're not what I expected. What's that supposed to mean? 12. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, I expected cold. Calculated. Ruthless. The perfect political match. But you're just a man, trying to be something you're not. And what am I? Weak. She said it without malice, just observation. You want to be the dutiful son, the perfect prince. But you're fighting your own nature. That Omega girl. She's your nature. And denying that will destroy you. I'm not weak. The words came out as a growl. Then prove it. Find her. Sever the bond properly. Or accept it, and walk away from our engagement. She moved toward the door, then paused. But you can't do both, Theron. You can't have duty and destiny. Choose. She left, closing the door softly behind her. The room felt too small. Too quiet. The bond pulsed again, and this time the pain dropped me to my knees. I could feel her. Somewhere in the city. Scared. Hurting. Her wolf crying for mine. And I'd done that. I'd caused that pain. You're a coward, my wolf said. For once, his voice wasn't a roar. Just cold truth. I know. Then do something about it. But what? Break my engagement? Disappoint my father? Throw away 3 years of careful negotiation for a girl I didn't even know? The logical answer was obvious. Find her. Complete the rejection. Move on. But logic felt like sand slipping through my fingers. I'd known the moment I saw her that she was mine. Not politically. Not strategically. Just mine. The way the moon belonged to the sky. The way wolves belong to the wild. 13. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, and I'd looked at her, this small dark-haired girl in a second-hand dress, and chosen power over her. What did that make me? A coward, my wolf said again. The bond yanked hard. She was moving. Getting farther away. My wolf exploded. 1 second, I was kneeling on the floor. The next, I was shifting. Bones cracking. Fur rippling. My human mind shoved aside as instinct took over. Find mate. Protect mate. Claim mate. I burst through the window before my human side could stop me. Glass shattered. 3 stories down. My paws hit the palace garden, running. The guards shouted. I didn't care. Her scent was everywhere and nowhere. Fading. She was leaving. My mate was leaving, and I had to stop her, had to make her stay, had to. The bond pulled north. The city flashed past. Alleys. Streets. I followed her trail like a bloodhound, every sense locked on her. There. The bus station. I skidded around the corner just as the last bus pulled away from the gate. And through the dirty rear window, I saw her. My mate. Our eyes locked across the darkness. Even at this distance, even through glass and metal and 50 feet of space, the bond blazed bright enough to blind. She pressed her hand against the window. I took 1 step forward. Then stopped. 14. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, because what would I do if I caught her? Drag her back to the palace? Force her to accept a rejection she didn't deserve? Claim her and damn the consequences? I couldn't. I'd made my choice. Signed the contract. Given my word. And she deserved better than a mate who chose duty over her. The bus turned the corner. Disappeared. The bond stretched. Thinned. But didn't break. I shifted back without meaning to. Human. Naked on a public street at midnight. My hands shook. My chest burned where the bond attached, pulling toward her like a fishhook in my sternum. I'd let her go. The realization hit like a physical blow. I'd let her go, and I'd never even learned her name. A howl ripped from my throat before I could stop it. Pure anguish. The sound of a wolf losing his mate. Windows lit up in the buildings around me. Voices shouted. But I didn't move. Couldn't move. Somewhere in the distance, I felt her pain echo through the bond. Sharp. Immediate. My pain or hers? I couldn't tell anymore. Maybe it didn't matter. Maybe we were both broken now. A guard found me 10 minutes later. Threw a cloak over my shoulders. Didn't ask questions. Smart man. He escorted me back to the palace in silence. My father was waiting in my chambers. Standing by the broken window, glass crunching under his boots. Well, he said. That was dramatic. I didn't answer. 15. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, your engagement stands. I've already sent word to the Moonshade family that tonight was simply an unfortunate incident. These things happen. The bond will fade. No, it won't. Then make it fade, Theron. Find the girl. Sever it properly. Do whatever you have to do. He moved toward the door, then turned back. But do it quickly. The wedding is in 6 months. I won't have you standing at that altar still tied to some random Omega. He left. I stood alone in my destroyed room and felt the bond pulse. A heartbeat. Her heartbeat synced with mine. She was miles away now. Out of the city. Safe from me. I told myself that was good. That I'd done the right thing. That duty mattered more than one girl. But my wolf knew the truth. I just made the biggest mistake of my life. And by tomorrow, it would be too late to fix it. The bond pulled again. Weaker now. Distance fraying it. I pressed my hand to my chest and swore I could feel her there. A ghost of warmth. A promise of something I'd never have. I'm sorry, I whispered to the empty room, to the mate I'd thrown away. But sorry wouldn't bring her back. Nothing would. 16. Abandoned by the Lycan prince. Chapter 3. Ghost in the machine. Serafina. 6 months later, and I still woke up reaching for him. My hand hit empty air. Cold sheets. Reality. I was alone in a narrow bed in Ironwood territory, 300 miles from the capital. 300 miles from the palace. 300 miles from the man who didn't want me. The bond still burned. Fainter now, like a scar that hadn't quite healed. But alive. I sat up and pressed my palm against my chest. Right over my heart. Where the connection lived. Theron was awake too. I could feel it. Feel his restlessness, his wolf pacing. We were connected by this invisible thread that neither of us could cut. And sometimes I hated it more than the rejection itself. You're thinking about him again. I turned. Juno stood in my doorway, arms crossed. She was tall and built like a fighter, with short red hair and a scar across her jaw from a pack dispute that had gone bad. She'd been the first person to talk to me when I stumbled into Ironwood half dead from bond sickness. I wasn't, I lied. Sarah, I can literally smell the misery coming off you. Then stopped sniffing. She laughed and tossed a sports bra at my head. Get dressed. You're going to be late for class. Right. Thursday. Self-defense training at the community center. 17. Abandoned by the Lycan prince I'd started teaching 2 months ago. Mostly female wolves who'd left bad situations. Omegas who'd been treated like property. She-wolves who wanted to learn how to fight back. Turned out, getting your heart ripped out made you pretty good at teaching others not to be victims. I rolled out of bed and grabbed my clothes. Juno watched me with that concerned look she got sometimes. The one that said she knew I was barely holding it together. "You want to talk about it?" she asked. "No." "Liar." "Juno." She held up her hands. "Fine. But you know where I am if you change your mind." She left and I got dressed in silence. Black leggings. Tank top. My knuckles were already wrapped from yesterday's session. I looked at myself in the mirror. 6 months had changed me. My body was harder now. Muscle where there used to be softness. My hair was shorter, chopped to my shoulders. My eyes looked older. I looked like a survivor. I hated that I had to be one. The apartment I shared with Juno was small but clean. 2 bedrooms in a converted warehouse. Cheap rent because Ironwood didn't ask questions. Neutral territory meant rogues, outcasts, and anyone running from something. I fit right in. I grabbed my bag and headed downstairs. The streets were already busy. Ironwood wasn't pretty. Industrial buildings, cracked sidewalks, the 18. Abandoned by the Lycan prince smell of metal from the factories, but it was safe. No pack politics. No hierarchy. Just survival. The community center was a 10-minute walk. I passed Kai on the corner, outside the coffee shop. He was leaning against the wall, smoking, looking like trouble in a leather jacket. "Morning, sunshine," he called. "Don't call me that." "Why not? You're so cheerful." I flipped him off without stopping. He laughed. Kai was another rogue. Wolf with a smart mouth and a dark past he didn't talk about. We'd become friends in that way broken people did, not by choice, just by proximity. The center was already open when I arrived. Margot stood by the front desk, sorting through mail. She looked up when I walked in. "You're early." "Couldn't sleep." "The bond?" I didn't answer. Margot had a way of seeing right through me. She was a witch, old magic, the kind that made even alphas nervous. She ran the supernatural artifact shop on Main Street and somehow knew everything about everyone. She'd taken one look at me 6 months ago and said, "Rejected mate." Let me guess. Royalty? I'd nearly broken down right there. Since then she'd been not exactly a friend. More like a mentor who occasionally threatened to hex me if I didn't eat enough. "Your students will be here soon," Margot said. "Try to look less like you're planning a murder." No promises. 19. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, she smiled. It made her look younger, less like the ancient being she probably was. "One day you'll tell me the whole story." Maybe. "And one day you'll realize you're stronger than you think." I didn't know how to respond to that, so I headed to the training room. 12 women showed up for class. Some I recognized. Others were new. I didn't ask their stories. They didn't ask mine. "Pair up," I said. "We're working on escapes today." The room filled with the sound of movement. Shuffling feet. Nervous energy. A new girl raised her hand. Young. Maybe 19. She had the look of someone who'd been hit too many times. "What if we're not strong enough?" she asked. I walked over to her. Strength isn't just muscle. It's knowing where to hit, how to move, when to run. I demonstrated a pressure point on her partner. You don't have to be stronger. You just have to be smarter. We worked for an hour. By the end, everyone was sweating and smiling. That was the best part. Watching them realize they weren't helpless. After class, I helped clean up. Margot appeared in the doorway. "There's something you should see." I followed her to the front desk. She pointed to a notice posted on the community board. Royal decree. All unmated wolves are summoned to the capital for the royal wedding of Prince Theron Silvermark and Lady Isadora Moonshade. Attendance is mandatory for all packs within the kingdom. Date 6 weeks from today. The floor tilted under my feet. "No," I said. "I'm afraid so." I'm not going. 20. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, Sarah. I'm not going, Margot. I can't. I won't. She touched my arm gently. If you don't go, they'll come looking for answers. Ironwood exists because it doesn't challenge royal authority. If you defy this decree, they'll what? Drag me there in chains? They'll investigate. And when they investigate Ironwood, everyone here suffers. Not just you. I pulled away from her. That's not fair. No. It's not. She sighed. But it's reality. You have 6 weeks to decide. But think about the others here. The ones who came to Ironwood for the same reasons you did. She was right. I hated that she was right. I left the center and walked. No destination. Just movement. The bond pulsed with every step. Like it knew. Like it was laughing at me. 6 months of rebuilding. 6 months of pretending I was fine. 6 months of ignoring the phantom pull in my chest. And now I had to go back. Had to watch him marry someone else. Had to stand there and smile while the bond screamed. I ended up at the scrapyard on the edge of town. Abandoned cars and rusted metal. No people. Perfect. I let my wolf out. The shift hurt. It always did now. My wolf was still wounded from the rejection, and transforming felt like tearing open an old injury. But I needed to run. 4 paws hit the ground. I bolted into the wasteland beyond the scrapyard, running until my lungs burned. Until the bond was a distant ache instead of a fresh wound. 21. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, I ran until I couldn't run anymore. Then I collapsed in the dirt and let myself feel it. All of it. The anger. The grief. The unfairness of being tied to someone who chose someone else. When I shifted back to human, I was crying. I hated that. Hated the tears. Hated the weakness. But there was no one here to see. My phone buzzed. I'd left it in my shorts pocket. A text from Juno. You okay? I typed back. No. But I will be. Another buzz. This time from Kai. Heard about the wedding decree. Need me to kill anyone? Despite everything, I smiled. Not yet. I'll let you know. I sat there until the sun started setting. Then I walked back to town. Margot was waiting outside my apartment building. She held out a small velvet pouch. What's this? I asked. Glamour charm. It'll change your appearance. Different hair color. Different features. Even your scent will shift. She pressed it into my hand. You can go to the wedding. Stay hidden. No one will know it's you. Why are you helping me? Because you remind me of someone I used to know. Someone who thought she was powerless. Margot smiled sadly. She was wrong too. I closed my fingers around the pouch. Thank you. Don't thank me yet. There's something else you should know. She hesitated. Your bloodline isn't what you think it is. What does that mean? It means your parents kept secrets. Important ones. And if you go back to the capital, you might finally learn what they were. 22. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, Margot? I can't say more. Not yet. Just be careful. And trust your instincts. She turned to leave, then looked back. Oh, and Sarah? You're stronger than he ever deserved. She walked away before I could respond. I went upstairs. Juno was making dinner. She took one look at me and poured 2 glasses of wine. Bad day? I have to go to the wedding. Fuck. Yeah. We drank in silence. Then she said, you want company? I'll go with you. Moral support. You hate the capital. I hate seeing you hurt more. Something warm bloomed in my chest. Not the bond. Something better. Friendship. Maybe, I said. Let me think about it. That night I couldn't sleep. The bond was more active than usual. I could feel Theron clearly. His tension. His wolf's agitation. Was he thinking about the wedding too? About promising himself to someone else while still tied to me? Good. Let him suffer. But that thought felt hollow. I got up and went to the window. Ironwood looked almost peaceful at night. Dark buildings. Distant lights. My phone buzzed again. Unknown number. I almost didn't open it. Then curiosity won. I know who you are. I know what you are. The wedding will end in blood. You must come. You must see. 23. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, my hands shook. I typed back. Who is this? No response. I stared at the message for a long time. Then I looked at the glamour charm Margot had given me. The wedding. 6 weeks away. 6 weeks to prepare for the worst moment of my life. Or maybe for something else. I thought about Margot's words. About bloodlines and secrets. About being stronger than I knew. Something was happening. Something bigger than a rejected bond or a political marriage. And maybe, just maybe, I needed to be there to face it. I crawled back into bed and closed my eyes. The bond hummed. Steady. Insistent. I'm coming, I thought, not sure if I was talking to Theron or fate or myself. I'm coming, and you're going to regret ever letting me go. My wolf stirred. For the first time in months, she didn't whimper. She growled. 24. Abandoned by the Lycan prince. Chapter 4. The summons. Theron. The wedding planning was killing me slower than the bond. I stood in the throne room, while Lady Ashford droned on about flower arrangements. White roses or gold? Both. Would they clash with the ceremonial banners? I didn't care. Couldn't care. All I could think about was the bond. The constant ache. The phantom presence in the back of my mind that never went away. 6 months. She'd been gone 6 months. And I still felt her every moment of every day. Your Highness? Your Highness? I blinked. Lady Ashford was staring at me. So was Isadora. So was my father. White roses, I said, because that seemed safe. We were discussing the seating chart, Isadora said quietly. Right. Of course. Whatever you think is best. My father's jaw tightened. Bad sign. The meeting dragged on. An hour. 2. By the time we finished, my skull felt like it was splitting. Isadora caught my arm as everyone filed out. You're getting worse, she said. I'm fine. You shifted during last week's council meeting. Knocked over 3 chairs and terrified the trade minister. 25. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, he was being unreasonable. Theron. She looked at me with something almost like concern. This bond, it's not fading. You need to do something about it. There's nothing to do. She's gone. Then find her. Finish the rejection properly. I tried. She disappeared. No pack affiliation. No trail. She's probably changed her name. Or she's dead. The bond flared. Pain sharp enough to make me gasp. She's not dead, I said through gritted teeth. I'd know if she was dead. Isadora studied me. You can feel her. It wasn't a question. I didn't answer. Moon above, Theron. You're still fully bonded to her. How are you even functioning? Barely. That was the truth. My wolf was a constant storm in my head. Sleep was impossible. Food tasted like ash. And every day, the pull toward her got stronger instead of weaker. You need to see the royal healer, Isadora said. I've seen him. Twice. And he said rejected bonds are supposed to fade within 3 months. If they haven't, I swallowed. If they haven't, it means she never accepted the rejection. Why wouldn't she accept it? I don't know. Maybe she's trying to torture me. Or maybe she can't. Isadora's voice went soft. Theron, what if she's sick? What if the bond is hurting her as much as it's hurting you? 26. Abandoned by the Lycan prince. I thought about that. Late at night when I couldn't sleep. The idea that she was somewhere suffering because of my choice. It made me want to tear my own skin off. It doesn't matter, I said. The wedding is in 6 weeks. After that, maybe the bond will finally die. Or maybe it will kill you both. She walked away. I stood alone in the throne room and tried to breathe. The bond pulsed. She was awake. I could feel her wakefulness, her restlessness mirroring mine. Where was she? What was she doing? Did she think about me? Stupid questions. Selfish questions. I headed to my chambers. Past guards who wouldn't meet my eyes. Servants who scurried out of my way. Everyone knew. The whole palace knew their crown prince was falling apart. My father was waiting in my room. Again. We need to talk, he said. I'm tired. I don't care. Sit. I sat. Mostly because standing was exhausting. My father paced. He did that when he was angry. Controlled fury in expensive boots. The healer came to see me today, he said. Did he? He's concerned. Says your wolf is dangerously unstable. That you're a risk to yourself and others. I'm fine. You destroyed a council chamber last week. The table was already old. 27. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, Theron. He stopped pacing and looked at me. Really looked. This bond is destroying you. You need to sever it. Completely. I tried. Try harder. Find the girl. Make her accept the rejection. Use force if you have to. Something dark flickered through me. I won't force her to do anything. Then you're weak. Maybe. This is exactly why I told you duty comes first. Love bonds mates, they're all weaknesses. Distractions. You chose correctly when you rejected her. Now finish what you started. And if I can't, then you're not fit to be king. The words hit like a slap. My father moved toward the door. You have until the wedding. Fix this, or I'll find someone else to wear the crown. He left. I sat in silence. The bond ached. Constant. Unending. I closed my eyes and reached for her through the connection. Not consciously. Just reaching. And for a second, I swear I felt her reach back. Then it was gone. I was alone again. A knock on the door. Soft. Come in, I said, too tired to care who it was. Marcus entered. My personal guard. One of the few people who'd known me since childhood. Your Highness. The decree went out today. What decree? 28. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, the wedding summons. All unmated wolves must attend the ceremony. Right. Traditional. Political theater. Show the kingdom their future king and queen. Good, I said. Marcus shifted uncomfortably. Sir, all unmated wolves means? I know what it means. If she was still alive, she'd have to come. The decree was binding. Defying it would mark her pack as rebellious. Except she didn't have a pack anymore. She won't come, I said. You don't know that. She has no reason to. Marcus was quiet for a moment. Maybe she has every reason. I looked up at him. What's that supposed to mean? Nothing, sir. Just sometimes people surprise us. He left me alone. I went to the window. The capital spread out below, lights twinkling. Somewhere out there, in some city or town or territory I'd never heard of, she was living her life. Without me. The bond pulled. Like a fishhook in my chest, always pulling toward her. I'm sorry, I whispered. Same thing I'd said every night for 6 months. I'm so sorry. But sorry didn't change anything. 6 weeks until the wedding. 6 weeks until I promised myself to someone else while still tied to her. My wolf snarled. He'd barely spoken to me in months. Too angry. Too betrayed. But now he said something. Clear as day. 29. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, she's coming. How do you know? I can feel it. She's decided. She's coming back. My heart did something complicated. Fear and hope and dread all mixed together. Good, I said. Good. You destroyed her. Rejected her. And now she's walking back into your world. What are you going to do? I didn't have an answer. Because what could I do? The engagement was signed. The wedding planned. The kingdom watching. And even if I wanted to break it all apart and beg her forgiveness, even if I burned the world down to make her mine, would she even want me back? The bond said yes. Bonds didn't lie. But her heart? That was another question. I spent the rest of the night staring at nothing, feeling her in the distance, knowing she was awake too, knowing that in 6 weeks we'd be in the same room again, and everything would either break completely or finally make sense. 30. Abandoned by the Lycan prince. Chapter 5. Running out of time. Serafina. The nightmare started a week before I was supposed to leave. Always the same. The royal hall. Theron standing at the altar. Isadora beside him in white. The ceremony beginning. Then blood. Everywhere. The walls. The floor. Screaming. I'd wake up gasping, my sheets soaked with sweat. Another one? Juno asked on the third morning. I nodded. Maybe it's just stress. Maybe. But I didn't think so. The dreams felt too real. Too specific. Something was going to happen at that wedding. Something bad. Margot had said the same thing without saying it. Be careful. Trust your instincts. I sat at the kitchen table, staring at the glamour charm. Small. Innocuous. Powerful enough to hide me completely. Juno set coffee in front of me. You don't have to go. Yes, I do. No. You really don't. Screw the decree. We'll leave Ironwood. Go somewhere even more remote. And put everyone here at risk? All the people who came here for safety? Sarah? I'm going. I said it firmly. Final. But you're right about one thing. I don't have to go alone. She grinned. Damn right you don't. 31. Abandoned by the Lycan, Prince Kai showed up an hour later. He'd heard through the Ironwood grapevine that I was planning something stupid. I'm coming too, he announced. No. Not asking permission, sunshine. Kai. You saved my ass when I first got here. Let me return the favor. I wanted to argue. But the truth was, I felt better knowing they'd be there. Back up. Friends. People who actually cared if I lived or died. Fine, I said. But we're just attending the ceremony. In and out. No drama. Sure, Kai said in a tone that suggested he absolutely did not believe that. We spent the next week preparing. Margot helped us secure travel documents. Juno trained extra hard, saying she wanted to be ready just in case. Kai sharpened his knives and pretended that was normal. I tried not to think about seeing Theron again. Failed completely. The bond had been quiet lately. Not gone. Never gone. But muted. Like he was trying to suppress it. Good luck with that. 3 days before we were supposed to leave, I had the worst nightmare yet. The royal hall. The wedding. But this time I could see faces. Theron's father on his throne. Isadora's family in the front row. Guards everywhere. And then the attack. Wolves I didn't recognize bursting through the doors. Not rogues. Organized. Military. Blood. Chaos. Theron fighting. Isadora screaming. 32. Abandoned by the Lycan prince and me, standing in the center of it all while someone whispered, "This is your fault." I woke up choking. Juno was already there, holding my shoulders. "Breathe. Just breathe." "It's a warning," I gasped. "The dream. It's a warning." "About what?" "I don't know. But something's wrong. Something's going to happen." She didn't dismiss me. That was one thing I loved about Juno. She trusted my instincts even when they sounded crazy. "Then we'll be ready," she said. The morning we left, Margot gave me a small package. "What's this?" "Emergency supplies. Don't open it unless you absolutely have to." "Margot." "I mean it, Sarah. Only in an emergency." I tucked it into my bag. We took a bus. Same route I'd traveled 6 months ago, in reverse. Every mile felt like going backward in time. Undoing my escape. The bond got stronger as we got closer to the capital. By the time we crossed into the inner territories, it was singing. He knew I was coming. I could feel his awareness spike. His wolf's immediate attention. Good, I thought viciously. Let him sweat. We arrived at sunset. The capital looked exactly the same. Glittering. Cold. Beautiful in the way expensive things were beautiful. I hated it. Juno whistled low. "Fancy." "It's a trap," I said. "Most pretty things are." 33. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, we booked a room at a small inn on the edge of the city. Cheap. Anonymous. Far from the palace. I activated the glamour charm the moment we checked in. The magic felt weird, tingling across my skin. When I looked in the mirror, a stranger stared back. My hair was lighter, almost blonde. My features sharper. Even my eyes were different. Green instead of brown. "Creepy," Kai said. "Effective," I countered. The wedding was tomorrow. We had one night to get through. I couldn't sleep. The bond was too active. Theron was awake too. Restless. Anxious. Around midnight, his emotions spiked. Fear. Sharp and sudden. I sat up, pressing my hand to my chest. What was happening? The bond pulled. He was calling for me. Not consciously. But his wolf was howling for its mate. I almost answered. Almost reached back through the connection. Then I remembered. The rejection. The humiliation. The 6 months of rebuilding myself from nothing. I slammed my walls up and turned away from the window. Let him suffer alone. But sleep didn't come. And when the sun rose on the day of the wedding, I felt like I'd been hit by a truck. Juno and Kai were already up, both dressed formally, ready to blend in with the other guests. "You okay?" Juno asked. "No. But let's do this anyway." 34. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, we joined the crowds heading toward the palace. Hundreds of wolves, all summoned by royal decree. The unmated, the hopeful, the curious. I pulled my hood up and stayed close to my friends. The palace gates opened at noon. We filed in with everyone else. Security was tight. Guards everywhere. They checked our documents. Scanned us for weapons. I held my breath when they passed over me with their detection spells. The glamour held. We were directed to the royal hall. The same place where I'd been rejected 6 months ago. Being back here made my skin crawl. The room was massive. Marble floors. Gold everywhere. Seats arranged in neat rows facing the altar. I chose a spot in the back. Far from the action. Close to the exits. "Smart," Kai murmured. The hall filled quickly. Wolves of every rank and territory. I recognized some faces from before. Most were strangers. Then the royal family entered. The king first. Tall. Severe. power rolling off him in waves. Then Theron. My heart stopped. He looked terrible. Thinner. Shadows under his eyes. His jaw tight with tension. But still beautiful. Still mine. The Bond screamed. I clamped down on it hard, forcing my face to stay neutral. He scanned the crowd. Looking for something. Someone. Looking for me. But the glamour held. His eyes passed right over me. Good. 35. Abandoned by the Lycan, Prince Isadora entered last. She looked perfect. Calm. Every inch a future queen. They took their places at the altar. The ceremony began. I sat through the opening prayers, the formal declarations, the political speeches. Every word felt like glass in my throat. This was happening. He was really going to marry her. Then something shifted. A ripple of unease through the crowd. Wolves turning to look at the doors. Guards moving into position. I felt it before I saw it. Wrong energy. Dark. Dangerous. Theron felt it too. His whole body went rigid. The doors burst open. Wolves poured in. Dressed in black. Armed. Moving with military precision. The hall erupted into chaos. My nightmare was coming true. Juno grabbed my arm. We need to go. Now. But I couldn't move. Because in the center of the attacking force, I saw a symbol. A crest I half recognized from somewhere deep in my memory. And the leader of the attackers was looking straight at me. Through the glamour. Straight at me. He smiled. Then everything exploded into violence. 36. Abandoned by the Lycan Prince. Chapter 6. The Return. Serafina. The first wolf died 3 feet from where I sat. His throat torn out by one of the attackers. Blood sprayed across the marble floor. Someone screamed. Then everyone was screaming. I was moving before I could think. Juno on my left. Kai on my right. We fought toward the side exit as chaos erupted around us. The Bond blazed. Theron's fury and fear crashed through me like a tidal wave. He was fighting. I could feel it. Every strike. Every kill. But he was looking for me. Even in the middle of this, his wolf was searching. Don't, I thought at him. Don't you dare look for me. One of the attackers blocked our path. Big. Scarred. He moved like a soldier. Kai didn't hesitate. His knife flashed. The attacker went down. Keep moving. Juno shouted. But I'd stopped. Because the leader, the one who'd smiled at me, was cutting through the crowd. Coming straight for us. For me. Sarah, come on. Kai pulled my arm. The leader was 20 feet away. 15. 10. Then a massive black wolf slammed into him from the side. Theron. 37. Abandoned by the Lycan Prince, he'd shifted mid-fight. His wolf was enormous, savage, covered in blood that wasn't his. He stood between me and the attacker, teeth bared. The Bond sang. Recognition. Protection. Mine. Our eyes met. And I knew. Even through the glamour. Even across the chaos. He knew it was me. The leader laughed. So it's true. The broken prince and his lost mate. Theron snarled. We're not here for you, Prince. We're here for her. He pointed at me. The last daughter of the Nightborn line. The true queen. The room went silent. Every wolf turning to look. I felt the glamour crack. Margot's magic breaking under the weight of whatever power this man carried. My real face emerged. My real scent. And every wolf in the room, including Theron, felt the truth. I wasn't just an Omega. I wasn't just a rejected mate. I was royalty. Old bloodline. Ancient power. The Bond exploded. Theron shifted back to human, naked and bloody, standing between me and the attackers. "Touch her and die," he said. His voice was absolutely cold. The leader smiled. "Oh, we're not going to touch her. We're going to crown her." Then the palace went dark. Emergency lights kicked in. Red. Pulsing. More attackers poured in through windows, through doors. An organized assault. 38. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, the king's guards fought back. Isidora was being dragged to safety by her family. Wolves everywhere tearing into each other. And in the middle of it all, Theron turned to me. "Run," he said. "I'm not." "Run." An explosion rocked the building. The ceiling cracked. Debris rained down. Juno grabbed me. Kai was already moving. We ran. Behind us, I heard Theron's roar. Fighting. Protecting our escape. The bond stretched. Thinned. But didn't break. We made it to a side corridor. Less crowded. Kai kicked open a door that led to the palace gardens. "This way." We burst outside. The gardens were chaos. Wolves fighting in the moonlight. Blood on the flowers. "The east gate." Juno pointed. We ran. I could still feel Theron through the bond. His determination. His rage. His desperate need to know I was safe. "I'm alive," I thought at him. "I'm alive. Stop looking for me and save yourself." We reached the gate. 2 guards lay dead. The way was clear. Then someone stepped out of the shadows. An older woman. Gray hair. Scars across her face. She looked at me with knowing eyes. "Serafina Nightborn," she said. "We've been waiting for you." "I don't know what you're talking about." 39. Abandoned by the Lycan prince. Yes, you do. Your parents hid you well. Changed your name. Gave you to a minor pack. But blood doesn't lie. She smiled. Your mother was the last queen of the Nightborn line. When she was killed, the power passed to you. My mother died in a car accident. Your mother was murdered. By the Silvermarks. By his family. She pointed back toward the palace. Toward Theron. "You're lying," I said. But my voice shook. "Am I? Ask yourself why you're so powerful. Why the bond to him is unbreakable. Why every wolf in that room just now felt your dominance." She took a step closer. "You're not an Omega, child. You never were. You're a Moonborn. The true queen of all Lycans." The bond pulsed. Theron was getting closer. Fighting his way toward me. "We don't have much time," the woman said. "Come with us. Learn the truth. Take your throne." "I don't want a throne." "Too bad. It's yours anyway." Juno stepped forward. "She's not going anywhere with you." The woman sighed. "Then you'll all die when the palace falls. Because that's what's happening. The Silvermark reign ends tonight. And if you stay, you'll burn with them." An explosion lit up the sky behind us. Part of the palace wall crumbling. Screams. More fighting. The woman offered her hand. "Choose quickly. Queen or corpse?" I looked at Juno. At Kai. At the burning palace behind us. I felt Theron through the bond. Closer. Almost here. If I stayed, he'd find me. And then what? He'd already chosen duty over me once. But if I left with these people, I might finally get answers. About my parents. About what I really was. 40. Abandoned by the Lycan prince. About why the mate bond had felt like destiny instead of chance. "Sarah," Juno said quietly. "Whatever you choose, we're with you." I looked at the woman. "If you're lying, you'll kill me yourself." "I'm counting on it." She smiled. "Your mother had the same fire." I took her hand. The world lurched. Magic. Transport spell. The last thing I felt was Theron bursting into the garden, his wolf's howl of rage and loss echoing through the bond. Then we were gone. 41. abandoned by the Lycan prince. Chapter 7. Recognized. Theron. She was gone. I stood in the empty garden, blood dripping from wounds I didn't remember getting, and she was just gone. The bond stretched thin. Distance. Magic. But still there. Still alive. My wolf was losing his mind. Pacing. Snarling. Demanding we shift and hunt and find our mate. But I couldn't move. Because I'd seen her. Finally. After 6 months. And she'd been magnificent. Even through the glamour, I'd known. The moment she walked into the royal hall, the bond had screamed. I'd scanned the crowd over and over, searching for her face. Then the attack. The chaos. And the glamour breaking. Her real face. Her real power. The entire room had felt it. That surge of dominance. Ancient. Royal. Nightborn. It couldn't be true. The Nightborn line was extinct. Wiped out 20 years ago in the territorial wars. My father's wars. Marcus appeared at my side. Your Highness. We need to get you inside. She was here. 42. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, I know. They took her. Transported her. I can feel her, but I can't find her. Sir. I grabbed his shirt. Find out who those attackers were. Where they came from. Everything. Already working on it. I let him go and turned back to the garden. Flowers crushed under fighting paws. Blood soaking into the earth. She'd stood right here. Right where I was standing. And I'd let her slip away again. My father appeared on the terrace above. Even from here, I could see his fury. Inside. Now, he commanded. I didn't want to obey. Wanted to shift and run and follow the bond until I found her. But palace guards were already surrounding me. Marcus's hand on my shoulder. Come on, he said quietly. We need to regroup. I followed him inside. The palace was a war zone. Bodies everywhere. Guards. Attackers. Civilians caught in the crossfire. The royal hall was destroyed. The altar where I was supposed to marry Isadora lay in ruins. Isadora. Where is she? I asked. Safe. Her family got her out before the worst of it. The king's private chambers had been converted into a command center. Maps. Reports. Commanders shouting orders. My father stood at the center, directing everything. He looked up when I entered. You're bleeding. 43. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, I'm fine. You look like you went through a meat grinder. I said I'm fine. He studied me for a long moment. Then he dismissed everyone else from the room. We stood alone. The attack was coordinated, he said. Professional. They knew our security protocols. Inside job? Possibly. He moved to the window. But there's something else. Something you need to know. What? The girl. Your rejected mate. What do you know about her? Everything and nothing. She's an Omega. From a minor pack. That's all. No. That's not all. He turned to face me. Her name is Serafina. Daughter of Elena and Marcus Nightborn. The room tilted. That's impossible. The Nightborns are dead. Yes. Or so we thought. My father's expression was unreadable. But it seems they hid their daughter. Changed her name. Placed her with a different pack. And no one knew until tonight. You're saying my mate is Nightborn royalty. I'm saying your mate is the rightful heir to the throne you're supposed to inherit. The implications crashed over me like a wave. You knew, I said slowly. You knew when I rejected her. I suspected. When the bond formed, I had my people investigate her background. But we couldn't confirm it until tonight. And you said nothing. 44. Abandoned by the Lycan prince because it didn't matter. The Nightborn line lost their claim 20 years ago. The territories are ours now. You killed them. It wasn't a question. My father didn't deny it. It was war. We did what was necessary to unite the territories under one throne. You committed genocide. I eliminated a threat. He said it so calmly, like it was nothing. And I'd do it again. I stared at the man who raised me, the king I'd spent my whole life trying to please. And I saw him clearly for the first time. They took her, I said. The attackers. They called her the true queen. I know. Which means we have a problem. If she takes the throne, she'll have legitimate support. The old houses. The traditionalists. Everyone who resents Silvermark rule. He moved closer. She's a threat, Theron. To you. To this kingdom. To everything we've built. She's my mate. She's a political disaster. The bond pulsed. I could feel her. Confused. Scared. But alive. I'm going after her, I said. You'll do no such thing. Watch me. Theron. I shifted. Let my wolf out, before my father could give another order. Guards rushed in. Too late. I was already gone. Through the palace. Out into the city. Following the bond like a compass. She was north. Moving fast. Magic-aided travel. 45. Abandoned by the Lycan prince. I ran. My wolf drove forward with single-minded focus. Find mate. Protect mate. Claim mate. For once, I agreed with every part of that. I'd made my choice 6 months ago. Duty over love. Politics over destiny. And it had been the worst mistake of my life. I wouldn't make it again. Whatever she was, Omega, Queen, Nightborn, mine. I didn't care about thrones or kingdoms or my father's genocidal wars. I cared about her. The wolf I'd rejected. The mate I'd destroyed. The woman who'd looked at me in that garden with heartbreak and fury, and something else I couldn't name. I ran until I couldn't run anymore. Until the bond said she was too far. Until magic had taken her somewhere I couldn't reach. Then I shifted back and screamed. The sound echoed through the empty streets. Marcus found me an hour later, sitting on a rooftop, watching the smoke rise from the palace. You can't find her, he said. It wasn't a question. No. What are you going to do? Whatever it takes. I looked at him. I need you to tell me everything. About the Nightborn line. About the wars. About what my father did. Theron. I need to know the truth, Marcus. All of it. He sat down beside me. It won't be pretty. I don't care. So he told me. 46. Abandoned by the Lycan prince about the Nightborn queens. About their power over all wolves. About how my father had feared them. Had conspired with other houses to destroy them. About the massacre. The burning of the Nightborn stronghold. The slaughter of everyone inside. About a woman who'd escaped with her infant daughter. Who died years later in what everyone thought was an accident. Leaving behind an orphan who'd never known who she really was. Until now. She doesn't know the whole story, Marcus said. The people who took her tonight, they'll tell her their version. Make the Silvermarks the villains. We are the villains. Maybe. But there's more to it than simple good and evil. I stood. The bond hummed. She was settling somewhere. Stopping. I'm going to find her, I said. And I'm going to tell her everything. No lies. No politics. And then what? Then I'm going to beg her forgiveness. And hope she doesn't kill me on sight. Marcus smiled slightly. She might anyway. I know. But you're going to try. I have to. I pressed my hand to my chest. The bond. Marcus, it's not just connection. It's recognition. She's not just my mate. She's my equal. Maybe more. A moonborn and a silver mark. That's going to cause problems. Let it. I shifted again and headed back to the palace. My father was waiting. But I didn't care about his orders anymore. 47. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, I had a mate to find. A queen to claim. And a throne to burn if that's what it took. 48. Abandoned by the Lycan prince. Chapter 8. Trapped together. Serafina. I woke up in a cell. Not a dungeon. Worse. A gilded cage with silk curtains and comfortable furniture and bars made of pure silver. My skin burned where I tried to touch them. Good. You're awake. The gray-haired woman from the garden sat in a chair by the door. She looked exactly the same. Calm. Knowing. Where am I? I demanded. The Nightborn Sanctuary. What's left of it, anyway? I sat up. My head pounded. Transport magic always made me sick. Why am I in a cell? Because you might run. And we can't have that yet. You said I was a queen. You are. But queens need education. Training. You can't take a throne when you don't even know your own history. I stood. The room spun. I grabbed the wall. Easy, the woman said. The transport spell takes time to wear off. Who are you? My name is Miriam. I was your mother's advisor. And her friend. That stopped me. You knew my mother. Elena Nightborn was the strongest queen our line had seen in 3 generations. Beautiful. Powerful. Kind. Miriam's expression softened. And she loved you more than anything. She died when I was 6. 49. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, she was murdered when you were 6. There's a difference. By who? The Silvermarks. Specifically, King Alexander. Theron's father. The bond pulsed. I felt Theron's rage and grief through the connection. He was awake. Hunting. Looking for me. You're lying, I said. I wish I was. Miriam stood and pulled a photo from her pocket. Your mother. Do you remember her? I took the photo with shaking hands. A woman with dark hair and kind eyes. Holding a small child. Me. I did remember. Fragments. Her singing. The smell of her perfume. The way she'd braid my hair. Why would the Silvermarks kill her? Because she threatened their power. The Nightborn line is older than the Silvermarks. Stronger. We were the original rulers of the Lycan territories. But Alexander wanted absolute control. So he declared war. Massacred our people. Burned our stronghold. And my mother? Escaped with you. Went into hiding. Changed your name. Gave you to a minor pack where no one would look. Miriam sat back down. She died protecting that secret. Making sure you stayed hidden until you were strong enough to survive. My legs gave out. I sat on the bed. I'm nobody, I whispered. I'm an Omega. I have no power. You're a Moonborn. The strongest wolf variant. And you have more power than you know. Miriam leaned forward. The mate bond you feel? It's not random. Moonborns bond with their equals. With those strong enough to stand beside them. Theron rejected me. 50. Abandoned by the Lycan prince because he didn't know what you were. Because his father taught him to fear anything that threatened Silvermark rule. She paused. But the bond survived. Even rejected, even suppressed, it survived. Do you know why? I shook my head. Because true bonds can't be broken by choice. Only by death. You're tied to him, whether either of you want it or not. The bond ached. I could feel Theron getting closer. following our connection. He's looking for you, Miriam said. He won't stop until he finds you. Good. Let him look. And when he finds you? What then? I didn't have an answer. Miriam stood. Get some rest. We'll talk more tomorrow. You have a lot to learn. I'm still a prisoner. You're a student. The silver bars are for your protection, not your punishment. There are those who'd kill you to prevent a Nightborn from taking the throne. She left. I was alone. The room was nice. Too nice. Bed with soft pillows. A bathroom with a shower. Windows that showed a forest I didn't recognize. But the silver bars remained. I went to them carefully. The metal burned even inches away. I was trapped. The bond pulsed again. Stronger. He was close. Maybe a mile away. Stop, I thought at him. Stop looking for me. No response. He couldn't hear me through the bond. Only feel emotions. 51. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, I tried anyway. Pushing my thoughts through the connection. I don't want you here. I don't need you. Leave me alone. The bond flared. Pain. His pain. My pain. Impossible to tell the difference. Then something shifted. The bond opened. Like a door I didn't know existed. And I heard him. Not words. Just feeling. Desperation. Regret. Need. And underneath it all, please be okay. Please be safe. Please don't hate me. Too late for that. I slammed my walls up and turned away from the window. But I could still feel him out there. Getting closer with every passing minute. What would happen when he found me? Would he take me back to his father? To the king who'd killed my family? Or would he finally choose me over duty? I didn't know which scared me more. I spent the night pacing. Couldn't sleep. Couldn't rest. The bond kept pulling. Calling. Around dawn, I heard shouting outside. Then fighting. I ran to the window. Wolves everywhere. The Nightborn people defending their sanctuary. And in the middle of it all, a massive black wolf tearing through their defenses. Theron. He'd found me. 52. Abandoned by the Lycan prince. Chapter 9. The Mark. Theron. The Nightborn sanctuary was a fortress. Hidden in the northern forests. Protected by wards and guards and pure determination. I fought through all of it. My wolf was unstoppable. 6 months of suppressed rage and grief poured out with every strike. Wolves tried to stop me. Failed. Magic tried to slow me. Broke against my fury. Nothing mattered except reaching her. The bond pulled me to a tower. 3rd floor. Silver bars glinting in the dawn light. I shifted back to human and climbed. Claws for grip. Desperation for fuel. She appeared at the window. Our eyes met. The bond exploded. 6 months of separation. 6 months of pain. All of it crashing together in one moment. Sarah, I said. My voice was raw. Don't, she whispered. I need to. I said don't. But I kept climbing. Reached the window. The silver bars burned my hands. I didn't care. 53. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, I'm sorry, I said. For everything. For the rejection. For being a coward. For choosing duty over you. It's too late. I know. But I had to tell you anyway. She stared at me. Tears on her cheeks. Your father killed my family. I know. You knew. Not when I rejected you. But I know now. And I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Sorry doesn't bring them back. No. It doesn't. I gripped the bars tighter. But I'm not here to defend him. I'm here for you. Why? So you can drag me back? Lock me up? Silence the threat? So I can protect you? Because you're my mate? Because I was an idiot? Because losing you nearly killed me? The bond pulsed. She felt it too. The truth in my words. I don't trust you, she said. You shouldn't. I don't forgive you. I don't deserve forgiveness. Then why are you here? Because I love you. The words hung in the air between us. She stepped back like I'd hit her. You don't know me, she said. I know enough. I know you're strong. I know you rebuilt yourself after I destroyed you. I know you're here trying to understand who you really are. I pulled against the bars. And I know that 6 months apart hasn't changed the fact that you're mine. I'm not yours. You rejected that claim. I was wrong. 54. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, guards appeared behind her. 3 of them. Ready to drag her away. Don't touch her, I snarled. One of them did anyway. My wolf exploded. I tore through the silver bars. The metal burned my hands to the bone. Didn't matter. I was through the window before anyone could react. The guards shifted. So did I. The room became a blur of fur and fangs. I killed the first one. Wounded the second. The third ran. Then I shifted back and stood between Sarah and the door. Naked. Bleeding. Absolutely done with anyone who tried to keep me from my mate. Theron, she whispered. I turned to her. I'm not leaving without you. You're insane. Probably. More guards coming. I could hear them. Dozens. Maybe hundreds. We need to go, I said. I can't. The silver? I looked at the bars. At my burned hands. Then I grabbed them anyway and pulled. The metal bent. My skin sizzled. The pain was excruciating. But I didn't stop. The bars tore free. I turned to Sarah. Jump. It's 3 stories. I'll catch you. She looked at me like I'd lost my mind. Maybe I had. 55. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, the door burst open. Miriam stood there with a dozen wolves. Prince Silvermark. You're trespassing. I'm claiming my mate. She's under our protection. She doesn't need your protection. She has mine. Sarah moved between us. Stop. Both of you. Sarah, I started. I said stop. Power rippled off her. Every wolf in the room felt it. Dominance. Authority. Moonborn. She turned to Miriam. You said I was a queen. That I had a choice. You do. Then I choose to leave. With him. Miriam's expression tightened. You don't understand what you're. I understand perfectly. You want to use me as a weapon against the Silvermarks. But I'm not a weapon. I'm a person. And I make my own choices. She took my burned hand. The bond sang. Get us out of here, she said to me. I pulled her close and jumped. 3 stories. We hit the ground hard. I twisted to take the impact. Felt ribs crack. Didn't care. Wolves poured out of the tower, chasing us. I shifted with Sarah on my back. She held on tight. Then I ran. The bond guided me, showed me the weak points in the wards, the gaps in the defenses. We burst through the tree line. 56. Abandoned by the Lycan prince behind us, howls of pursuit. I ran faster. Sarah's arms around my wolf's neck. Her weight familiar. Right. Keep going, she thought through the bond. Don't stop. I wouldn't. Couldn't. We ran until the sun was high. Until the sanctuary was miles behind us. Then I stopped by a stream and shifted back. Sarah slid off my back. She was pale. Shaking. Are you hurt? I asked. No. You? I looked down. Burns, cuts, broken ribs. Nothing that won't heal. She stared at me. You're insane.
You said that already.
Because it's true. You ripped through silver. Jumped 3 stories. Fought an army. I'd do worse to get to you. She touched my burned hand carefully. Why? I told you. I love you. You rejected me. I was a coward. You chose duty. I chose wrong. She pulled her hand back. And now? What changes now?
Everything.
Nothing. I don't know. I moved closer. But I know I'm not walking away from you again. Even if it costs you your throne? Especially then. The bond hummed between us. Warm. Alive. She studied my face. Looking for lies. For tricks. The people at the sanctuary said your father killed my family. 57. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, he did. And you still came for me. You're not your family. And I'm not my father. Aren't you? You made the same choice he would. Power over love. The words cut deep. Because they were true. I did, I said quietly. 6 months ago, I made that choice. And I've regretted it every single day since. Regret isn't enough. I know. I don't know if I can forgive you. I know that too. She wrapped her arms around herself. Then what do you want from me? A chance. Just one chance to prove I'm not the man who rejected you. That I can be the mate you deserve. And if I say no, then I'll respect that. But I'll still stay close. Still protect you. Because you're my mate, whether you claim me or not. She was quiet for a long time. The stream babbled. Birds sang. The world kept moving while we stood frozen. Then she said, I'm bleeding. I looked down. Her side. Dark red soaking through her shirt. What happened? One of the guards. When they grabbed me. I didn't feel it until now. The wound was deep. Silver blade. Poisoned. Sarah. My voice broke. I'm fine. You're not fine. That's silver poisoning. I'll heal. 58. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, not if we don't treat it now. She swayed. I caught her before she fell. Her skin was too hot. Fever setting in fast.
Theron, she whispered.
I don't feel good. I know. I know, sweetheart. I've got you. I needed to mark her. Claim her. My wolf's venom could counteract the silver. Stop the poison. But marking her meant completing the bond. Permanently. Irrevocably. I need your permission, I said. To mark you. To claim you. It's the only way to save you. She looked up at me. Eyes glassy with fever. You rejected me, she said. I know. You broke my heart. I know. If you do this, if you mark me, I can never leave you. We'll be bonded until one of us dies. I know. Is that what you want? To be tied to me forever? Yes. Even though I'm Nightborn? Even though your father will see this as treason? I don't care about my father. I care about you. She closed her eyes. Do it. Before I change my mind. I pulled her close. Found the spot where neck met shoulder. The traditional claiming mark. This will hurt, I said. Everything hurts. I kissed her once. Soft. Careful. Then I bit down. 59. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, she screamed. The bond slammed into place with the force of a hurricane. Everything she was. Everything I was. Crashing together. Merging. Her pain became mine. My strength became hers. I felt her memories. The rejection. The months of rebuilding. The fear and anger and grief. She felt mine. The regret. The sleepless nights. The desperate need to find her. The mark settled. My teeth released. Silver scars on her skin. Mark of a claimed mate. She gasped. The fever was already breaking. My venom neutralizing the poison. We stayed like that, holding each other. The bond singing between us. I can feel you, she whispered.
Everything.
Your thoughts. Your wolf. I know. I feel you too. It's overwhelming. It gets easier. She pulled back to look at me. What have we done? Completed what should have happened 6 months ago. Your father will kill you. Let him try. She touched the mark on her neck. Still bleeding, but healing. I don't forgive you yet, she said. I know. This doesn't fix what you did. I know. But I don't want to die. And I don't want you to die either. That's a start. She almost smiled. Almost. 60. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, then her eyes closed. The fever and poison and stress finally dragging her under. I caught her before she hit the ground. Through the bond, I felt her dreams. Confused. Dark. Afraid. But also safe. He came. He chose me this time. I held her close and promised her sleeping form that I'd never choose wrong again. Whatever came next, thrones, wars, consequences, we'd face it together. Because she was mine now. And I was hers. Bonded. Finally. 61. Abandoned by the Lycan prince. Chapter 10. Political fallout. Serafina. I woke up in a cave. Not a metaphor. An actual cave. With stone walls and a fire crackling, and Theron sitting beside me looking like he'd been through hell. Where are we? My voice was rough. Safe house. About 20 miles from the sanctuary. I sat up. My side ached but didn't burn. The wound was closed. Healing. The mark on my neck throbbed. I touched it. Felt the raised scars. Physical proof of what we'd done. How long was I out? 6 hours. The bond hummed. I could feel him now. Really feel him. Every thought. Every emotion. Every fear. It was too much. I need space, I said. You can't. I mean mental space. From the bond. It's suffocating. He showed me how to build walls. Not to block the connection completely. Just to dim it. Give each other privacy. I tried. Failed. Tried again. Finally got it. The bond quieted to a background hum, instead of a roar. Better, he asked.
A little.
62. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, I looked around the cave. Supplies stacked in the corner. Blankets. Water. Someone had prepared this place. Who owns this? Friend of mine. Marcus. He's been helping me search for you. Does he know we're here? Yes. And your father? Theron's expression darkened. Probably. By now. I stood. My legs were shaky but held. We can't stay here, I said. I know. They'll come for us. Both sides. The Nightborn people want me as their queen. Your father wants me dead. I won't let that happen. You can't stop it alone. Then we won't be alone. He stood and moved to the cave entrance. Dawn light filtered in. I sent word to Marcus. To Isadora. To a few others I trust. They're gathering resources. Safe houses. Allies. Isadora? Your fiancé. Former fiancé. The engagement ended the moment I marked you. Right. Royal law. A claimed mate invalidated any prior contracts. She must be thrilled. Actually, she's relieved. She never wanted to marry me anyway. Political pressure from her family. I processed that. So what's the plan? Survive long enough to figure out the truth. About your family. About the wars. About why our bond is so strong. Miriam said Moonborns bond with their equals. You talked to her? 63. Abandoned by the Lycan prince before you crashed through the window like a maniac. He almost smiled. Fair. I moved to stand beside him. The forest outside was quiet. Peaceful. Too peaceful. Something's wrong, I said. I feel it too. The bond pulsed. Warning. Then we heard it. Wolves. Lots of them. Coming fast. They found us, Theron said. Which side? Does it matter? He was right. Either way, we were in danger. We grabbed the supplies. Theron shifted. I climbed onto his back. Then we ran. Again. The wolves followed. Closer this time. Organized. Through the bond, I felt Theron's strategy. Lead them away from populated areas. Find higher ground. Force them to bottleneck. We climbed. The mountain rose steep and dangerous. The wolves kept pace. Then we hit a cliff. Nowhere left to run. Theron shifted back. Get behind me. No. Sarah? I said no. I'm not hiding while you fight alone. The wolves appeared. 10 of them. All wearing silvermark colors. Royal Guard. My heart sank. The leader shifted. An older wolf with scars and hard eyes. Prince Theron. Step away from the girl. 64. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, no. That's an order from the king. The king can go to hell. The guard's expression didn't change. We don't want to hurt you. But we will if we have to. You can try. I felt Theron's wolf rising. Ready to fight. But 10 against 1? He'd lose. Unless. I stepped forward. Wait, I said. Everyone looked at me. I took a breath. Remembered what Miriam had said. About my power. About being moonborn. I'd never tried to use it before. Never knew I had it. But I had nothing to lose. I reached for that spark inside me. The thing that made Omega's bow. That made Alpha's nervous. Dominance. It exploded outward like a shockwave. Every wolf dropped to their knees. Including the guard captain. You will not touch him, I said. My voice echoed with power I didn't know I had. You will not touch me. You will leave. Now. They fought it. I felt them straining against my command. But they couldn't resist. One by one, they shifted. Turned. Ran. The captain was the last to go. He looked at me with something like fear. The king will hear about this, he said. 65. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, good. Tell him his son is protected. And if he wants me dead, he'll have to come himself. The captain left. I stood alone on the cliff with Theron. Then my legs gave out. He caught me. That was incredible. That was terrifying. You just commanded the Royal Guard to retreat. I know. I don't know how. Your power. It's awakening. I looked at my hands. They were shaking. I don't want this. I know. I just want to be normal. You've never been normal, Sarah. And that's what makes you extraordinary. The bond pulsed. Warm. Proud. I closed my eyes. What do we do now? Now we go see Isadora. She has information. About your family. About what really happened in the wars. Can we trust her? I think so. She hates my father almost as much as I do. We climbed down the mountain. Found a car Marcus had left for us. Drove south. Toward answers. Toward danger. Toward whatever came next. The bond hummed between us the whole way. A constant reminder that we were in this together now. For better or worse. Bonded. 66. Abandoned by the Lycan prince. Chapter 11. Two courts. Theron. Isidora's estate was exactly what I expected. Elegant. Fortified. Designed to withstand sieges. She met us at the gate personally.
You look terrible, she said to me.
Thanks. Her eyes shifted to Sarah. And you must be the infamous mate. Serafina, Sarah said carefully. Isidora Moonshade. Former fiancé. Current ally. Hopefully future friend. I watched them size each other up. Two strong women. Both dangerous in different ways. Come inside, Isidora said. We have a lot to discuss. Her study was lined with books and maps. A war room disguised as a library. Your father is furious, she said once we were alone. He's declared you a traitor. Saw that coming. He's also put a bounty on Sarah's head. 500,000. Dead or alive. Sarah went pale. He won't touch her, I said. He'll try. You know he will. I did know. My father didn't make empty threats. Isidora poured 3 glasses of wine. Handed them out. 67. Abandoned by the Lycan prince. Here's what I know. The Nightborn Wars weren't what the history books say. Your father didn't defeat a tyrannical queen. He assassinated a peaceful ruler and slaughtered her people to steal their lands. How do you know that? Sarah asked. My grandmother was there. She kept journals. I found them after she died. Isidora pulled out a leather-bound book. Everything's documented. The lies. The cover-up. The truth. She slid the journal across the desk. Sarah opened it with shaking hands. I watched her read. Watched her face change as she learned what had really happened to her family. They burned them alive, she whispered. Children. Elders. Everyone. I'm sorry, Isidora said quietly. Your father justified it by saying the Nightborn Queen was planning a coup. But there's no evidence of that. No correspondence. No witnesses. Just his word. I felt sick. I'd known my father was ruthless. But this was genocide. Why didn't anyone stop him? Sarah asked. Some tried. They were silenced. Exiled. Killed. Isidora took her wine glass. The silver mark line rules through fear. Always has. Not anymore, I said. Both women looked at me. I'm done with my father. Done with his throne. Done with pretending his wars were justified.
Theron? Isidora started.
I mean it. The crown isn't worth this. Isn't worth what he did. What he's still doing. Sarah touched my hand through the bond. Support. Understanding. So what's your plan? Isidora asked. I don't have one yet. 68. Abandoned by the Lycan prince. Well, you better think of something. Because your father isn't going to let this go. He'll hunt you both. And he won't stop until Sarah is dead and you're back under his control. Then we fight, Sarah said. We both looked at her. What? Isidora asked. We fight. We tell the truth. We show the kingdom what really happened. Sarah stood. I'm the last Nightborn. I have a legitimate claim to the throne. And I have power your father fears. You're talking about war, Isidora said. I'm talking about justice. I felt her determination through the bond. Her anger. Her need to make this right. It won't be easy, I warned. Nothing worth doing is. Isidora smiled. I like her. So do I said. Good. Because you're going to need all the help you can get. She pulled out a map. Here's what we know. Your father has the royal guard. The capital. Most of the major houses. What do we have? I asked. The truth. And potentially, the Nightborn sympathizers. There are wolves who remember the old ways, who never accepted Silvermark rule. She marked locations on the map. If Sarah can unite them, she can challenge my father's legitimacy. Exactly. Sarah studied the map. How many sympathizers? Hard to say. They've been in hiding for 20 years. But I'd guess hundreds. Maybe thousands. Not enough to win a war. 69. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, no. But enough to start one. I didn't like where this was going. War meant death. Lots of it. But the alternative was hiding forever. Or letting my father kill Sarah. Neither was acceptable. We need proof, I said. Something undeniable. Something that makes the kingdom question everything they've been told. The journals, Isadora started, can be dismissed as forgeries. We need something bigger. Sarah looked at me. We need witnesses. After 20 years? Miriam is a witness. She was there. So were others from the sanctuary. Your father will say they're biased, Isadora pointed out. Then we find neutral parties. Wolves who owe nothing to either side. We spent hours planning, mapping, strategizing. By the time night fell, we had the skeleton of a plan. It was dangerous. Probably suicidal. But it was something. Isadora showed us to guest rooms. Separate ones. I thought. Sarah started. You're bonded, not married. This is still my house. My rules. Isadora smiled. Besides, you both need actual sleep. Not what happens when you put two bonded mates in the same bed. She left. Sarah looked at me. She's not wrong. I know. I should sleep. You should. But neither of us moved. The bond pulled. Strong. Insistent. 6 months apart. Then one day together. It wasn't enough. 70. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, I want to hate you, Sarah said quietly. I know. I want to stay angry. You should. But the bond makes it hard. I feel what you feel. The regret. The self-loathing. The love. I do love you, Sarah. I know I have no right. But it's true. She stepped closer. Show me. What? Show me. Through the bond. Let me feel it. No walls. No barriers. Just truth. I hesitated. Then I dropped every shield. Everything I felt poured through the connection. The moment I first saw her. The instant recognition. The choice I made. The shame of it. The 6 months of searching. The desperation. The relief when I found her. The terror when she was hurt. And underneath it all, love. Absolute. Unconditional. Consuming. Sarah gasped. Tears streamed down her face. I feel it, she whispered. All of it. I pulled her close. I'm sorry. For everything. For being a coward. For choosing wrong. I know. I'll spend the rest of my life making it up to you. I know that too. She kissed me. Not gentle. Not tentative. Hard and demanding, and full of 6 months of pain and anger and need. The bond ignited. I kissed her back like she was air and I was drowning. 71. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, Sarah, I gasped. We should stop. Why? Because if we don't, I won't be able to. Good. She pulled me toward her room. And I followed. Because I was hers. Finally. Completely. Forever. 72. Abandoned by the Lycan prince. Chapter 12. Bloodline Secrets. Serafina. I woke tangled in Theron's arms. The bond hummed. Content. Satisfied. My body ached in the best way. Last night had been intense. The bond made everything more. Every touch. Every sensation. Every emotion. It was overwhelming and perfect and terrifying. I felt his consciousness stir. His wolf greeting mine. "Morning," he murmured. "Morning. How do you feel?" Confused. Sore. Happy. Angry. All of it at once. He kissed my shoulder. "That's the bond. Everything's amplified. I don't know if I like it." "You don't have to like it. You just have to live with it." I turned to face him. "I still haven't forgiven you." "I know. Last night doesn't change what you did." "I know that too. But it's a start." He smiled. Actually smiled. It transformed his whole face. "A start is more than I deserve." Someone knocked on the door. "Go away," Theron called. "It's Isadora. We have a problem." 73. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, we dressed quickly. Met her downstairs. Her expression was grim. "What happened?" I asked. "Margot contacted me. From the Nightborn Sanctuary. She says she has information. About your parents. About why they were really killed." My heart stopped. "What kind of information?" "She wouldn't say over the phone. Too dangerous. She wants to meet. Tonight. Neutral ground." "It could be a trap," Theron said. "It could be," Isadora agreed. "But if she knows something." "We have to go," I finished. Theron didn't argue. Through the bond, I felt his resignation. His acceptance that I'd do this with or without him. "Where's the meeting?" he asked. "Old mining town. Abandoned. 50 miles north." "I know it," Theron said. "Used to be Nightborn territory." "Exactly. Margot says it's symbolic. Meeting where it all began." We spent the day preparing. Weapons. Plans. Backup strategies. Marcus arrived with reinforcements. 5 wolves loyal to Theron. Good fighters. "Your father's people are searching for you," he told Theron. "Checkpoints everywhere. But I think I can get you past them." "How?" Marcus grinned. "Old smuggler routes. Your father never knew about them." We left at dusk. 2 cars. Marcus drove one. Theron drove the other with me beside him. The bond was quiet. Both of us lost in thought. What if it's true? I asked. What if my parents were hiding something? Then we deal with it. 74. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, what if it's bad? What if they weren't the heroes everyone thinks? Then they were still your parents. And they loved you. That's what matters. I wanted to believe that. The mining town appeared as full dark hit. Crumbling buildings. Rusted equipment. Ghosts of a forgotten past. Margot stood in the center of the main street. Alone. We approached carefully. Marcus and his wolves spread out. Covering angles. "Serafina," Margot said. "Thank you for coming." "What do you know?" I asked. "No pleasantries. Just need. Your parents weren't killed because they were Nightborn. They were killed because they discovered something. Something that threatened the entire Lycan power structure." "What?" Margot pulled out a folder. Old. Worn. Your mother was an historian. She studied the original Lycan bloodlines. And she found proof that the Silvermarks aren't the true royal line. Theron went still beside me. "What are you talking about?" he asked. "The Silvermark claim to the throne is based on conquest, not bloodline. Your ancestors took power through war, not inheritance." "That's not news," Theron said. "Every wolf knows the Silvermarks won the throne through battle." "Yes. But they don't know who they took it from. Who the true bloodline is." Margot looked at me. "No," I whispered. 75. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, the Nightborns weren't just another powerful family. They were the original royal line. The first Lycans. The progenitors of all werewolf bloodlines. That's impossible. It's documented. Your mother found birth records. Genealogies. Going back 1,000 years. All leading to one conclusion. The Nightborn line has the legitimate claim to rule all Lycans. The world tilted. That's why your father killed her, Margot said to Theron. Not just for territory. For legitimacy. If the kingdom knew the truth, his entire reign would be invalidated. Where's the proof? I asked. The documents? Your mother hid them. Before she died. She knew they'd come for her. So she scattered the evidence. Different locations. Different protectors. Where? I have one piece. The rest? I don't know. Your mother never told anyone the full picture. Too dangerous. She handed me the folder. Inside were pages. Ancient. Handwritten. Genealogies showing the Nightborn line going back centuries. And at the bottom of the family tree, my name. Serafina Nightborn. Last of the true royal bloodline. Not just a queen. The queen. No, I said again. I don't want this. Too late, Margot said gently. You are what you are. Sarah, Theron touched my arm. I pulled away. Don't. Just don't. This was too much. Finding out my parents were murdered was one thing. Learning I was some prophesied true queen was another. 76. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, I couldn't breathe. I need a minute, I said. I walked away. Into one of the abandoned buildings. Trying to process. Through the bond, I felt Theron's concern. His desire to follow. I pushed him back. Needed space. The building was dark. Empty. Just crumbling walls and broken windows. I sat on the floor and tried to think. True queen. Legitimate heir. The weight of an entire species on my shoulders. I didn't want it. I'd never wanted any of this. All I'd wanted was my mate. A simple life. Maybe a family someday. Instead, I got war and prophecy and impossible choices. Footsteps behind me. I turned. Expected Theron. But it wasn't him. A wolf I didn't recognize stood in the doorway. Silver eyes. Scarred face. Serafina Nightborn, he said. We've been looking for you. More wolves appeared. 6 of them. Surrounding me. Who are you? I demanded. We're the ones who killed your mother. My blood went cold. And now we're going to finish the job. They attacked. I fought. Used the training Juno had given me. The power that was still waking up inside me. But there were too many. One of them grabbed me. Silver cuffs snapped around my wrists. The metal burned. Weakened me. 77. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, I screamed through the bond. Theron. He answered instantly. Rage and terror and determination. The wolves dragged me toward the window. Toward a waiting van. Then a massive black wolf burst through the wall. Theron. He tore into them. Savage. Merciless. Marcus and his wolves poured in behind him. The fight was brutal. Quick. The attackers died or fled. Theron shifted back. Ripped the silver cuffs off my wrists. Are you hurt? He demanded. No. Shaken. But not hurt. He pulled me close. The bond wrapped around us like a shield. They knew, I said. They knew I'd be here. This was a trap. Not Margot's, Theron said. She's dead. My heart stopped. What? Outside. Killed while you were in here. This was planned. Someone used her to lure us out. I looked at the folder. Still clutched in my hand. Someone had wanted me to see this information. To know the truth. And then they tried to kill me. Which meant they were afraid. Afraid of what I represented. afraid of the truth getting out. We need to leave, Marcus said. More might be coming. We ran for the cars. But I kept the folder. Because now I knew. I wasn't just a rejected mate. Wasn't just a Nightborn survivor. I was the key to everything. 78. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, the proof that could topple a kingdom. And somewhere out there, someone was very, very afraid of me. Good. Let them be afraid. I was done running. 79. Abandoned by the Lycan prince. Chapter 13. The Hunt. Serafina. We made it back to Isadora's estate, bloody and traumatized. She took one look at us and started issuing orders. Healers. Guards. Reinforcements. I sat in the safe room while they cleaned my wounds. The silver burns were bad. But healing. Theron wouldn't leave my side. I'm fine, I said for the 10th time. You were almost kidnapped. But I wasn't. Because I got there in time. What if I hadn't? But you did. He ran his hands through his hair. Frustrated. Scared. This is my fault, he said. How? If I hadn't rejected you, none of this would have happened. You'd have been safe in the palace. Protected. Or I'd be dead. Your father wants me gone, Theron. Being in the palace wouldn't change that. He knew I was right. But the guilt poured through the bond anyway. We need a new plan, I said. We need to hide. No. We need to attack. He looked at me. What? 80. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, hiding isn't working. They found us twice now. They'll keep finding us until we're dead. I stood. So we go on offense. We find the rest of my mother's evidence. We expose the truth. We end this. Sarah, I'm tired of being hunted. Tired of being afraid. Tired of people trying to kill me for something I can't control. The bond flared. My determination hitting his fear. It's dangerous, he said. Everything's dangerous. You could die. I could die hiding too. At least this way I'm fighting back. Isadora entered. She's right. Not helpful, Theron said. I'm serious. Running won't save you. The only way out is through. She spread a new map on the table. Margot said your mother scattered the evidence. Different locations. Different protectors. We need to find them before your enemies do. How? I asked. Start with what we know. Your mother was systematic. Careful. She'd have chosen protectors she trusted absolutely. I was 6 when she died. I don't remember her friends. But I might, a new voice said. We all turned. An elderly wolf stood in the doorway. Female. Scarred. Ancient. Who are you? Theron demanded. My name is Helena. I was Elena Nightborn's sister. Serafina's aunt. The room went silent. You're lying, I said. My mother didn't have a sister. 81. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, she told everyone I died. To protect me. To protect the bloodline. Helena moved closer. But I've been alive this whole time. Watching. Waiting. I felt the truth in her words. The bond confirmed it. She wasn't lying. Why come forward now? Theron asked. Because my niece is in danger. And because it's time to finish what Elena started. She sat down. Moved like every joint hurt. Your mother hid 4 pieces of evidence. Documents. Testimonies. Proof of the true Nightborn claim. Helena pulled out a list. Handwritten. I know where 3 of them are. The 4th, that died with Elena. Where are the others? I asked. She pointed to locations on the map. An old pack territory. A neutral sanctuary. And a private collector who deals in supernatural artifacts. That's a lot of ground to cover, Isadora said. And a lot of enemies who'll try to stop us, Theron added. Then we split up, I said. Absolutely not. We don't have a choice. We need all 3 pieces before your father's people find them. Sarah, I can handle myself. You've seen me fight. Against a few wolves. Not an army. Then give me an army. Isadora smiled. I like the way she thinks. We planned through the night. 3 teams. 3 missions. Marcus would go after the Pack territory documents. Isadora would hunt down the Collector. Theron and I would hit the sanctuary. 82. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, it was risky. Splitting up meant fewer defenses. More vulnerability. But it was the only way to beat them to the evidence. Dawn came too soon. Theron and I stood in the courtyard, preparing to leave. He pulled me close. I don't like this. I know. If something happens, it won't. But if it does, I kissed him. Hard. Final. I'll be fine. We'll be fine. Because we're doing this together. The bond pulsed. Agreement. Trust. We drove north. Toward the sanctuary of eternal rest. A neutral ground where wolves went to die in peace. Morbid. But strategic. No one would think to look there. The sanctuary was beautiful. Stone walls. Gardens. Silence. An old wolf met us at the gate. We're looking for something, I said. Something that was left here 20 years ago. The old wolf studied me. You have your mother's eyes. You knew her? Everyone knew Elena. She was special. He led us inside. She left something here. Asked me to keep it safe. Said one day her daughter would come for it. He took us to a small room. Opened a hidden panel in the wall. Inside was a metal box. I lifted it carefully. Heavy. Locked. The key? I asked. Elena said you'd know where to find it. I had no idea. 83. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, but then I remembered. A locket my mother used to wear. She'd given it to me before she died. I still had it. Buried in my things back at Ironwood. We need to go back, I told Theron. To Ironwood? It's the only place the key could be. He didn't argue. We thanked the old wolf and left. But as we drove away, I felt it. Someone following. Theron, I said quietly. I know. 3 cars. Been tailing us since we left. Your father's people? Probably. What do we do? We run. He floored it. The cars gave chase. We tore through narrow roads. Forest on both sides. Nowhere to hide. Gunshots. Silver bullets sparking off the car. Get down. Theron shouted. I ducked. The window shattered. Theron swerved. Took a side road. Barely wide enough for one vehicle. The chase cars tried to follow. Too big. Too clumsy. We lost 2 of them in the trees. The third kept pace. Hold on, Theron said. He hit the brakes. Hard. The chase car smashed into us from behind. Metal crunching. Then Theron shifted. Right there in the driver's seat. His wolf breaking through. 84. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, the car spun out. Crashed. I climbed out. Dizzy. Bleeding from a cut on my forehead. Theron stood over the wreckage. The pursuing wolves crawling out. They saw him. Saw the fury in his eyes. They ran. Smart. Theron shifted back. Are you hurt? Just bruised. He pulled me close. Checked me over. The bond sang with his relief. We can't keep doing this, I said. I know. Everywhere we go, they find us. I know. We need to end this. Soon. Or we won't survive. He kissed my forehead. Then let's end it. We found another car, courtesy of Marcus's extensive network, and we drove to Ironwood to get the key, to unlock my mother's secrets, to start a war if that's what it took, because I was done being prey. It was time to become the hunter. 85. Abandoned by the Lycan Prince. Chapter 14. Exposed. Theron. Ironwood looked exactly as I expected. Industrial. Rough. A place for wolves who didn't fit anywhere else. Sarah tensed as we drove through the streets. Bad memories? I asked. Some, but also good ones. This is where I rebuilt myself. I felt her affection for the place through the bond. Her found family here. We parked outside a warehouse. Juno appeared before we'd even gotten out of the car. Sarah? She pulled Sarah into a hug. You're alive. Thank the moon. I'm fine. This is Theron. Juno looked at me. Her expression was not friendly. The prince who broke your heart. He's also my bonded mate now, Sarah said. It's complicated. I'll say. Kai showed up next. He took one look at Theron, and his hand went to his knife. Easy, Sarah said. He's on our side. Your side, maybe? Not mine. Kai. He backed off, but didn't look happy about it. We went inside. Sarah's apartment was small, clean, lived in. I felt a pang of something through the bond. This was her real home. Not the palace. Not some grand estate. Here, with people who'd chosen to care about her. 86. Abandoned by the Lycan Prince, she found the locket in a drawer. Opened it. Inside was a tiny key. That's it? Juno asked. That's it. We opened the metal box right there. Too impatient to wait. Inside were documents, letters, and a journal. Sarah's mother's journal. She read it with shaking hands. I felt her emotions spiral through the bond. Grief, anger, understanding. What does it say? I asked gently.
Everything.
The wars, the genocide, how your father planned it all. She looked up at me. He didn't act alone. Other families helped. The Moonshades, the Ashfords, the entire council. They were all complicit. Yes. And my mother knew. She was gathering evidence to expose them all. That's why they killed her. Sarah nodded. She knew too much. So they made it look like an accident. And everyone believed it. She kept reading. Then stopped. Her face went white. What? I asked. There's more. About the bond. About us. She showed me a page. The Moonborn bloodline bonds with its equal. Its balance. In times of great change, the bond appears between natural enemies. Lycan and Lycan. Royal and royal. To force unity. To prevent war. My daughter will bond with a silver mark. I've seen it in my visions. And when she does, the kingdom will have a choice. Unity or destruction. I read it twice. 3 times. 87. Abandoned by the Lycan Prince, she knew, I said. Your mother knew we'd be mates. She knew. And she died trying to prevent the war that would come from it. We sat in silence. Then Juno said, so what does this mean? It means we were always going to be bonded, Sarah said. Fate or prophecy or whatever. This was always going to happen. Even the rejection? Maybe. Maybe that was part of it too. Testing us. Seeing if we'd choose each other anyway. I felt her processing through the bond. Trying to make sense of it. I don't believe in fate, I said. I think we make our own choices. And you chose to reject me. I did. And that was wrong. But I'm choosing you now. Not because of prophecy. Because I love you. The bond hummed. Truth. Always truth between us now. Kai cleared his throat. This is all very touching. But you're still being hunted. What's the plan? Sarah stood. We go back to the capital. We release this evidence. We expose everything. That's suicide, Juno said. Maybe. But it's the only way to stop this. Sarah? They'll never stop hunting me. Never stop trying to kill me. Unless I take away their reason. She looked at me. Your father rules through lies. Through fear. If we expose the truth, his power crumbles. It'll start a civil war, I said. Better than this endless chase. She was right. I hated that she was right. We need allies, I said. We can't just walk into the capital alone. 88. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, we have allies. Isadora. Marcus. The Nightborn sympathizers. Not enough. Then we make more. We show the kingdom who I am. What I represent. Give them a choice. Between you and my father. Between truth and lies. Juno stepped forward. I'm coming with you. Juno. Don't argue. You saved my life. I'm returning the favor. Kai sighed. Fine. I'm in too. But only because watching you two die would be boring. Sarah hugged them both. Through the bond, I felt her gratitude. Her love for these wolves who'd stood by her. We spent the night planning. Gathering allies. Spreading the word. By dawn, we had a plan. Risky. Insane. Probably fatal. But it was something. We'd go to the capital. Call for a public assembly. Release all the evidence. And let the kingdom decide. It was a gamble. My father had controlled the narrative for 20 years. But Sarah was a moonborn. She had power that couldn't be denied. If we could get her in front of the people, if they felt her dominance, her authority, maybe they'd choose her. Maybe we'd survive. Or maybe we'd die trying. Either way, the running was over. We left Ironwood at sunset. 12 wolves total. Our small army. 89. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, the bond was quiet. Both of us lost in thought. Nervous? I asked. Terrified. Me too. But you don't regret it? No. If I'm going to die, I'd rather die fighting beside you than hiding. She took my hand. Same. The capital appeared on the horizon. Glittering. Dangerous. Home. We drove straight to the palace. Didn't hide. Didn't sneak. We walked right up to the front gates. The guards tried to stop us. Sarah's power blazed. They dropped to their knees. We walked through. Into the throne room. Where my father sat waiting. The council was there. The major houses. All the wolves who'd supported the genocide. They looked at Sarah and saw their worst nightmare. Father, I said. We need to talk. He stood. Power radiating off him. You're under arrest. Both of you. For what crime? Treason. Conspiracy. Murder. Murder? Sarah laughed. That's rich coming from you. I don't know what lies you've been told. No lies. Just truth. She pulled out her mother's journal. Everything's here. The genocide. The cover-up. All of it. The room went silent. That proves nothing, my father said. 90. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, then let's ask them. Sarah turned to the council. Which of you helped plan the Nightborn massacre? Which of you covered it up? Which of you are complicit in genocide? No one spoke. But their faces said everything. I'm the last Nightborn, Sarah said. The legitimate heir to the throne. and I'm here to take back what's mine. My father moved fast. Too fast. He shifted. Launched himself at Sarah. I met him midair. Wolf to wolf. We crashed into the marble floor. Fighting. Tearing. Father and son. King and prince. The council scattered. Wolves choosing sides. Some with my father. Some staying neutral. A few, very few, moved to stand behind Sarah. The fight was brutal. My father was stronger. More experienced. But I fought dirty. Fought desperate. For Sarah. For the truth. For a kingdom that deserved better than lies. I heard her voice through the chaos. Commanding. Powerful. Enough. Everyone froze. Her moonborn power filled the room. Undeniable. Overwhelming. Every wolf dropped. Including my father. Sarah stood in the center. Bloodied. Magnificent. You will listen, she said. All of you. No more fighting. No more running. We end this now. My father fought her command. But even he couldn't fully resist. The Nightborn line is the true royal bloodline, Sarah said. The documents prove it. The witnesses confirm it. Everything you've been told is a lie. 91. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, she's lying, my father snarled. Then explain this. Sarah pulled out the genealogies. Held them up. Explain how the Nightborn line goes back 1,000 years. How every major advance in Lycan society came from Nightborn queens. How your entire claim is based on conquest, not blood. Silence. I don't want your throne, Sarah said. I never did. But I won't let you kill me to keep your lies alive. Then what do you want? My father asked. The truth. Released publicly. An apology to the Nightborn survivors. And justice for those who planned the massacre. That's treason. That's accountability. She looked at the council. Choose. Right now. Truth or lies. Justice or tyranny. One by one, wolves stood. Some chose my father. Most. But others chose. 92. Abandoned by the Lycan prince. Chapter 15. Queen of Wolves. Serafina. The throne room behind us was chaos. Shouting. Fighting. The council splitting into factions. But I kept walking. Theron beside me. Our small group of allies surrounding us. Outside the palace, wolves were gathering. Hundreds. Maybe thousands. Word had spread fast. The last Nightborn. The true heir. Standing against the Silvermark King. They'd come to see. To choose. I stood on the palace steps and looked at them. My people. Whether they knew it or not. The bond pulsed. Theron's pride. His fear. You don't have to do this, he said quietly. Yes, I do. I stepped forward. Let my power rise. Every wolf felt it. The dominance. The authority. The birthright I'd never asked for. I am Serafina Nightborn, I said. My voice carried. Amplified by power. Daughter of Elena Nightborn. Last of the true royal line. Murmurs rippled through the crowd. For 20 years you've been told lies. That the Nightborn queens were tyrants. That the Silvermarks saved you. But the truth is different. The truth is genocide. Massacre. Children burned alive. Elders slaughtered. An entire bloodline almost destroyed. Gasps. Denials. But also belief. 93. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, I don't want your throne. I don't want your crown. I want justice. For my family. For all the families destroyed by Silvermark greed. The crowd was silent now. Listening. You have a choice. Support the lies. Or stand for truth. Behind me, the palace doors burst open. My father, Theron's father, the king himself. He looked at the crowd. At me. At his son, standing beside me. She's lying, he announced. She's a pretender. A threat. Then prove it, I said. Release your records. Open your archives. Let the kingdom see the truth. I don't have to prove anything to you. No. But you have to prove it to them. I pointed at the crowd. At the wolves watching. Waiting. They deserve the truth. All of it. The king's expression hardened. You want war? You'll get it. I don't want war. But I'll fight if I have to. Then you'll die. Theron stepped forward. Between me and his father. If she dies, so do I, he said. We're bonded. Mated. You kill her, you kill your heir. The king looked at his son. Then I'll find another heir. Good luck with that. The confrontation was interrupted by a sound. A howl. Distant but growing. More wolves. Coming fast. Isadora appeared beside me. Reinforcements. Ours. Marcus on my other side. And ours. The Nightborn sympathizers poured in. Wolves from hidden packs. From neutral territories. From everywhere. They'd heard the call. And they'd answered. 94. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, the balance shifted. Not enough to win. But enough to fight. Last chance, I said to the king. Step down peacefully. Let the truth come out. Or we do this the hard way. He smiled. Cold. Cruel. Bring it on. The Battle of the Capital began. 95. Abandoned by the Lycan prince. Epilogue. 6 months later. Serafina and Theron. The war lasted 3 months. Bloody. Devastating. But necessary. In the end, the truth won. Not because we were stronger. Because people were tired of lies. The king abdicated. The council reformed. And I took the throne I never wanted. But not alone. Theron stood beside me. Not as king. As consort. As partner. Equal. We rewrote the laws. Abolished the Omega designation. Created sanctuaries for rogues. And slowly, painfully, the kingdom healed. Now, 6 months later, we stood on the palace balcony, looking out at a city transformed. My hand rested on my stomach. A secret only Theron knew through the bond. Are you ready for this? He asked. No. But I'll do it anyway. He smiled. Kissed me softly. You're going to be an amazing mother. We're going to be amazing parents. Together. Always together. The bond hummed. Content. Complete. 96. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, we'd survived the rejection. The war. The prophecy. And we'd come out stronger. Not because fate demanded it, but because we chose each other. Every single day. Below us, wolves gathered for the coronation. For the official ceremony that would make our reign legitimate. But the crown didn't matter. What mattered was the mate beside me. The child growing inside me. The future we were building together. Ready? Theron asked. I took his hand. Ready. And we walked forward. Together. Into whatever came next. Bonded. Unbroken. Forever. The end. 97. Abandoned by the Lycan prince. Chapter 16. The first trial. Theron. The war ended 3 weeks ago. My father was in exile. The council disbanded. And Sarah was preparing for something that terrified me more than any battle. The royal trials. Ancient tradition. 3 tests to prove a ruler's worth. Combat. Wisdom. Sacrifice. Sarah had to pass all 3. or her claim would be contested forever. I watched her train in the palace courtyard. She moved like water. Fast. Deadly. 6 months of survival had made her dangerous. But her opponents wouldn't be ordinary wolves. They'd be the best warriors in the kingdom. Handpicked. No mercy. She's going to get hurt, I said to Marcus. She's going to win, he corrected. You don't know that. I know her. She doesn't lose. I wanted to believe that. But the bond showed me her fear. Her doubt. Her exhaustion. She'd been fighting for months. We both had. And now this. Sarah finished her training and walked over. Sweat-soaked. Beautiful. Stop worrying, she said. I'm not worrying. You're broadcasting it through the bond. Right. Still getting used to that. 98. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, I just want you safe, I said. I know. But safe isn't an option right now. She took my hand. I have to do this. You know that. I did know. The old houses still contested her claim. Said she was too young. Too inexperienced. Too omega. The trials would silence them. Or kill her trying. When? I asked. Tomorrow. Dawn. Too soon. Not enough time. But time didn't matter. She was ready or she wasn't. That night, I held her close. The bond wrapped around us like a blanket. I'm scared, she admitted. First time she'd said it out loud. Me too. What if I fail? You won't. But what if I do? What if I'm not strong enough? I pulled back to look at her. You survived rejection. You rebuilt yourself from nothing. You faced down my father and lived. You're the strongest person I know. That's the bond talking. No. That's me. The bond just lets me feel what I already knew. She kissed me. Desperate. Needy. We made love slowly. Carefully. Like we were memorizing each other. Through the bond, I felt everything she felt. The love. The fear. The determination. And underneath it all, goodbye. Just in case. Don't, I said. Don't think like that. I have to be realistic. Be optimistic instead. 99. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, she smiled. Sad. I'll try. We didn't sleep. Just held each other until dawn came. The trial grounds were packed. Every wolf in the capital had come to watch. Sarah stood in the center. Alone. Wearing simple fighting clothes. 3 opponents entered. I recognized them. The best warriors from the major houses. Wolves who'd fought in the war. Who'd killed dozens. They'd kill her too if given the chance. The rules were simple. 3 fights. 1-on-1. Surrender or death. Sarah couldn't kill them. That would make her look bloodthirsty. But she had to win. The first opponent was massive. Twice her size. A beta from the Northern Territories. He smiled. Confident. Sarah didn't smile back. The fight began. He charged. She dodged. Using speed over strength. He was fast for his size. But she was faster. She landed hits. Quick strikes to pressure points. Making him slow. Making him sloppy. But he got in one good hit. Sent her flying. I half stood. The bond screamed with her pain. But she got up. Wiped blood from her mouth. And kept fighting. The crowd was silent. Watching. Judging. Sarah moved differently now. More aggressive. More dangerous. She caught his arm. Twisted. Broke it. He roared. Shifted. She shifted too. 100. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, wolf against wolf. It was brutal. Teeth and claws and blood. But Sarah was relentless. She'd learned to fight from rogues. Dirty. Desperate. Effective. She got his throat. Didn't kill. Just held. Until he submitted. The crowd erupted. First victory. Sarah shifted back. Bloody. Bruised. But standing. The second opponent entered immediately. No rest. A she-wolf this time. Smaller. Faster. Tactical. They circled each other. Both studying. Both calculating. The she-wolf attacked first. Low. Going for legs. Sarah jumped. Landed on her back. Rode her down. They rolled. A blur of limbs and strikes. This fight was closer. More even. The she-wolf was good. Really good. She got Sarah in a hold. Cutting off air. Through the bond, I felt Sarah's panic. Her oxygen running out. "Come on," I whispered. "Come on, Sarah." She went limp. The she-wolf thought she'd won. Relaxed just slightly. Sarah struck. Elbow to the face. Broke the hold. Then moved like lightning. Got the she-wolf's arm. Hyper extended it. Submission. 2 down. Sarah was barely standing now. Blood loss. Exhaustion. Pain. But she couldn't stop. The third opponent was already entering. And I recognized him. 101. Abandoned by the Lycan Prince Garrett. My father's former champion. The wolf who trained me since childhood. He was the best fighter I'd ever seen. And he looked at Sarah like she was already dead. "No," I said. But no one heard me. The fight began. Garrett didn't rush. Didn't showboat. Just moved with perfect precision. Every strike calculated. Every defense flawless. Sarah tried to match him. But she was tired. Hurt. He was fresh. He got inside her guard. Hit her ribs. I heard them crack through the bond. She went down. The crowd held its breath. Garrett stood over her. "Submit. I don't want to kill you." "Then don't," she gasped. "Submit and this ends." "No." She got up. Somehow. Through pure will. And I felt it. Through the bond. Her power rising. Not physical strength. Something else. Her moonborn dominance. It exploded outward. Hit Garrett like a wall. He staggered. Fought it. But couldn't fully resist. Sarah moved while he was off balance. Swept his legs. Got on top. Her hand at his throat. Claws extended. "Submit," she said. Power in every word. Garrett struggled. His pride fighting her command. But her dominance was absolute. "I submit," he said finally. 102. Abandoned by the Lycan Prince, the crowd went wild. Sarah had won. All 3 fights. She stood in the center of the grounds. Bloody. Broken. Victorious. And every wolf there felt her power. Undeniable. Real. I ran to her. Caught her as she collapsed. "I did it," she whispered. "You did it." 1 down. 2 to go. She passed out in my arms. The healers took her. 3 broken ribs. Concussion. Severe bruising. But alive. She'd survived the first trial. Only 2 more to go. 103. Abandoned by the Lycan Prince. Chapter 17. Ticking clock. Serafina. I woke up 3 days later. My body was healed. Courtesy of Lycan regeneration and very good healers. But I felt wrong. Off. The bond was muted. Quiet. "Theron?" I called. He appeared instantly. "I'm here." "What's wrong with the bond?" His expression went carefully neutral. "Nothing." "Don't lie to me." He sat on the edge of the bed. "The healer needs to talk to you." About what? About the mark. About us. Cold fear. What's wrong? The healer entered. An older she-wolf with kind eyes. Your Majesty, she said. There is a complication. What kind of complication? The mate bond. It's deteriorating. The room tilted. What? When a bond is rejected but not properly severed, it can become unstable, especially under stress. She pulled out charts. Your bond with Prince Theron was rejected. You never formally accepted that rejection. So the bond remained active but damaged. We completed it, I said. He marked me. We're fully bonded now. 104. Abandoned by the Lycan prince you are. But the foundation was cracked. And now, with the stress of the trials, with the trauma you've endured. She paused. The bond is breaking down. How long? Theron asked. His voice was dead. Without intervention? Maybe a week. Maybe less. What kind of intervention? You need to complete a full bonding ceremony. Not just the mark. The ritual. Ancient magic to reinforce the connection. Fine. Let's do it. It requires both parties to be fully healthy, rested, calm. The healer looked at me. You have 2 more trials to complete. The stress will accelerate the deterioration. So what are you saying? I'm saying you need to choose. The trials or the bond. You can't survive both. Silence. I looked at Theron. Saw his fear. His desperation. We'll do the ceremony, I said. After the trials. Sarah? I have to finish this. You know I do. Not if it kills us. It won't. You don't know that. Neither do you. The healer cleared her throat. There is one other option. Prince Theron could sever his end of the bond. Completely. It would hurt. But you'd both survive.
No, we said in unison.
It's an option. It's not an option, Theron said. I'm not losing her again. 105. Abandoned by the Lycan prince even if staying bonded kills you both? Even then. The healer left. Gave us privacy. I felt the bond. Thinner than before. Fraying at the edges. We're going to die, I said quietly. Maybe. Probably. Then we die together. Theron took my hand. I chose you. I'm not unchoosing you now. Even though I'm being stubborn? Even though I'm prioritizing trials over us? You're prioritizing the kingdom. That's what queens do. I'm not a queen yet. Yes. You are. The bond pulsed. Weak but there. How long do we really have? I asked. The healer said a week. But through the bond, I can feel it. Maybe less. 3 days. 4. And the next trial is tomorrow. Yes. Wisdom. Testing my judgment. My strategy. Can you postpone? And look weak? Give the old houses ammunition to contest my claim? I shook my head. I have to do this now. Then we do it fast. Trials done in record time. Then the ceremony. What if I fail? You won't. But if I do, then we still do the ceremony. And I'll love you whether you're queen or not. 106. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, I kissed him. Felt the bond shiver between us. Dying. We were dying. But not today. That night we didn't sleep. Just held each other. Memorizing. Savoring. The bond whispered between us. Getting quieter with each hour. I'm scared, I admitted. So am I. I don't want to lose you. You won't. We're going to survive this. Promise? I promise. It was a lie. We both knew it. But it was a comforting lie. And sometimes that's all you need. Dawn came too fast. The second trial. Wisdom. I stood before the council. What was left of it? They presented me with scenarios, political problems, ethical dilemmas, each one designed to test my judgment, my priorities, my fitness to rule. A pack is starving. They ask for aid, but helping them weakens your own pack. What do? Find a third option. Trade routes, shared resources, help without weakening either side. An alpha challenges your authority, demands a duel. Do you fight or negotiate? Depends on the alpha, on why they're challenging, on what they really want, power or justice. Question after question. I answered each one. Drew on everything I'd learned, everything I'd survived. The council deliberated, whispered, judged. 107. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, finally, the head counselor spoke. Your answers show wisdom beyond your years. Compassion tempered with strength. You passed the second trial. Relief, but also dread. Because now came the third trial. Sacrifice. The test everyone feared most. The third trial will take place tomorrow, the counselor said. Prepare yourself. I left the chamber. Theron was waiting. He looked pale. Weak. Are you okay? I asked. The bond. It's getting worse. I felt it too. Like static on a radio. Breaking up. Fading. We need to do the ceremony. Now. After the third trial. Sarah? I'm almost done. One more. Then we fix this. He didn't argue. Too tired. Too sick. We went to our chambers. Collapsed together. The bond was a whisper now. Barely there. I could feel him slipping away. Feel us slipping away. Talk to me, I said. Keep me here. What do you want to talk about? Anything. Everything. Tell me about when you were a kid. So he did. Talked about training. About his father's impossible expectations. About the pressure to be perfect. I talked about my parents. The fragments I remembered. The life I'd lost. We talked until words didn't matter anymore. Until just breathing together was enough. 108. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, the bond flickered. Like a candle in wind. I love you, I whispered. I love you too. If we die. We're not dying. But if we do. Then we die knowing we chose each other. Every time. Despite everything. I closed my eyes. Let his presence comfort me. Tomorrow was the third trial. Sacrifice. I had no idea what they'd ask me to give up. But I knew one thing. Whatever they asked, it wouldn't be Theron. I'd sacrifice anything else. Crown. Power. Life itself. But not him. Never him. 109. Abandoned by the Lycan prince. Chapter 18. The claiming. Theron. The bond was dying. I felt it like poison in my veins. Each hour it got weaker. Quieter. Soon there'd be nothing left. And when the bond died, we died. Mate bonds weren't metaphorical. They were biological. Magical. Part of our souls. Breaking one after completion was fatal. Always. I watched Sarah sleep. She looked peaceful. But I felt her pain through what was left of our connection. She was dying too. Just slower. A knock on the door. Marcus. The third trial, he said. It's ready. All ready? They moved it up. Said waiting was unnecessary. Translation, they knew we were dying. Wanted the trial finished before we collapsed. I woke Sarah gently. "It's time," I said. She sat up. Pale. Weak. But determined. "Let's do this." We walked to the trial grounds. Every step was agony. The bond protesting. Demanding rest. Demanding the ceremony. But Sarah kept moving. The council waited. Along with hundreds of witnesses. 110. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, Serafina Nightborn, the head counselor said. The third trial. Sacrifice. To rule, a queen must understand that duty comes before personal desire. You must prove your willingness to sacrifice for the kingdom. What do you want me to sacrifice? Sarah asked. Your bond. The world stopped. What? I said. The mate bond makes her vulnerable. Compromised. A true queen puts the kingdom first. Always. The counselor looked at Sarah. Sever the bond with Prince Theron. Prove your dedication to duty over love.
No, I said immediately.
The trial requires. I don't care what it requires. I'm not letting her sever our bond. Prince Theron, you have no say in this. The hell I don't. That bond is mine as much as hers. Sarah touched my arm. It's okay. It's not okay. They're asking you to kill us both. They're asking me to prove I can rule. By sacrificing everything that matters? That's not ruling. That's tyranny. She looked at the council. At the crowd. At the kingdom watching. No, she said. You refuse the trial, the counselor asked. I refuse the premise. You say a queen must sacrifice love for duty. But that's a false choice. Love doesn't make me weak. It makes me stronger. Personal attachments compromise judgment. Personal attachments give me something to fight for. Something to protect. You want a queen who doesn't care? Who sees her people as numbers instead of lives? That's not strength. That's sociopathy. 111. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, the crowd murmured. Some nodding. Others frowning. The trial stands, the counselor said. Sever the bond or forfeit your claim. Sarah stood taller. Power radiating off her. Then I forfeit. Gasps. Shock. Even I stared at her. What are you doing? I asked through what was left of the bond. Trust me, she answered back. You are aware, the counselor said slowly, that forfeiting means giving up the throne. I'm aware. But I won't sever my bond. Not for you. Not for anyone. Then you have failed the trials. Have I? Or have the trials failed? She turned to address the crowd. For 20 years, you've been ruled by a king who put duty above everything. Who sacrificed love, compassion, mercy all for power. And what did that get you? Genocide. War. A kingdom built on lies. She took my hand. This wolf beside me is my mate. My partner. My equal. Yes, the bond makes me vulnerable. Yes, it gives people a way to hurt me. But it also makes me human. It reminds me what I'm fighting for. You think love is enough to rule? The counselor challenged. No. But I think love and duty aren't opposites. I think the best rulers fight for the people they love. And I think a queen who would sacrifice her mate for a crown isn't someone you should trust with power. Silence. Heavy. Waiting. So here's my choice, Sarah said. I keep my bond. I keep my mate. And if that means I'm not queen, so be it. I'd rather live as nobody with him than rule alone without him. The bond surged. Even dying, it recognized the truth in her words. 112. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, but, Sarah continued, if you want a ruler who understands sacrifice, look at what I've already given up. My safety. My anonymity. My peaceful life in Ironwood. I came here knowing I might die. Knowing I'd be hunted. Knowing the crown would mean constant danger. And I did it anyway. Not for power. For justice. For truth. For the families destroyed by your lies. She looked at the counselor. So you can take your impossible test and your false choices. I'm done playing by rules designed to break me. Then you forfeit. Actually, I don't think she does. Everyone turned. Isadora stepped forward. What? The counselor asked. The third trial test sacrifice. She's proven her willingness to sacrifice. Just not in the way you expected. Isadora looked at the crowd. She was willing to give up the throne rather than her bond. That's sacrifice. That's choosing duty, her duty to her mate, her duty to her values, over personal ambition. Murmurs of agreement. Growing louder. The trial requires sacrifice. It doesn't specify what must be sacrificed. Isadora smiled. She sacrificed the crown itself. That's the ultimate sacrifice. Giving up power rather than compromising her principles. The council looked uncertain. Trapped by their own rules. I agree, Marcus called out. She passed the trial. Other voices joined. Wolves in the crowd. Allies. Supporters. She passed. She sacrificed. That's our queen. The counselor looked furious. But defeated. 113. Abandoned by the Lycan prince. Very well, he said through gritted teeth. By the authority of the ancient laws, I declare Serafina Nightborn has completed the 3 trials. She is worthy of the crown. The crowd exploded. Cheering. Howling. Sarah swayed. I caught her. We need to do the ceremony, I said. Now. Agreed. Isadora was already organizing. The ceremonial chamber. 30 minutes. Get the ritual priests. We stumbled to the chamber. Barely made it. The bond was a thread now. One strand. About to snap. The priests worked fast. Drew symbols. Lit candles. Chanted in old languages. Sarah and I stood in the center. Holding hands. This will hurt, the head priest warned. We're reweaving a damaged bond. Essentially breaking and reforming it, simultaneously. Just do it, I said. The ritual began. Pain. Immediate. Overwhelming. The bond broke completely. Severed. I felt Sarah disappear. The connection gone. It was like losing half my soul. She screamed. So did I. Then the priests began the reformation. Pulling magic. Weaving. The bond slowly reformed. Strand by strand. But this time it was stronger. No cracks. No damage. Perfect. The pain intensified. I couldn't breathe. Couldn't think. Just held on to Sarah and endured. Finally, it was done. 114. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, the bond snapped into place. Solid. Complete. Unbreakable. We collapsed together. But through the bond, I felt her. Clear. Strong. Alive. We made it, she whispered. We made it. I love you. I love you too. The priests left us alone. We lay on the floor of the ceremonial chamber. Exhausted. Alive. Did I really just give up the throne? Sarah asked. You did. Then got it anyway. That was lucky. That was brave. She looked at me. I meant what I said. I'd rather have you than any crown. I know. I felt it. I pulled her closer. And I'd rather have you than any throne. Good. Because you're stuck with me now. Forever. Forever. The bond hummed. Agreement. Promise. We'd survived the trials. Survived the bond crisis. Survived everything the kingdom had thrown at us. And we've done it together. Always together. 115. Abandoned by the Lycan prince. Chapter 19. Hunting the hunter. Serafina. The bond was perfect now. Strong. Unbreakable. I could feel Theron constantly. His thoughts. His emotions. His presence. It should have been suffocating. Instead, it felt like home. We had 3 days before the coronation. 3 days to rest. Recover. Prepare. But rest wasn't an option. Someone was still trying to kill me. The attacks haven't stopped, Marcus reported. 3 attempts in the last week. We've caught or killed the assassins. But someone keeps sending more. Who? I asked. We don't know. No one talks. They're either too loyal or too scared. Or both, Theron added. We were in the war room. Maps. Reports. A kingdom to secure. What do we know? I asked. The assassins are well trained. Well equipped. This isn't random rogues. This is organized. Someone with resources, Isadora said. Someone powerful. Someone who wants me dead before the coronation. We all knew who that meant. Theron's father. In exile, yes. But still dangerous. Still connected. We need to find him, I said. We've been trying. He's good at hiding. Then we stopped trying to find him. And make him come to us. 116. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, everyone looked at me. You want to use yourself as bait, Theron said flatly. Yes. Absolutely not. It's the only way. It's suicide. It's strategic. We argued. The bond carrying our frustration. Our fear. Finally, Isadora intervened. She's right. We can't keep playing defense. We need to draw him out. And then what? Theron demanded. She's bait and he springs the trap? She dies and we catch him? Great trade. I won't die. You don't know that. Neither do you. The bond crackled between us. Tension. Disagreement. But also understanding. He knew I was right. Hated it. But knew it. Fine, he said. But I'm with you. Every step. That defeats the purpose of bait. I don't care. You're not doing this alone. I almost smiled. You're very protective. You're very reckless. I prefer strategic. I prefer alive. We planned for 2 days. Every detail. Every contingency. Then we announced it publicly. The coronation would take place in the old royal gardens. Open air. Lots of access points. Perfect for an assassination attempt. The day arrived. Sunny. Beautiful. Deceptively peaceful. 117. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, I wore ceremonial robes. White and gold. The mark on my neck visible. A declaration. Theron stood beside me in similar robes. Looking like a prince. Acting like a bodyguard. The crowd gathered. Hundreds of wolves. All there to witness the crowning of the first Nightborn Queen in 20 years. Or my death. Depending on how this went. I felt him before I saw him. A familiar presence. Angry. Desperate. Theron's father. The exiled king. He moved through the crowd. Disguised. But I knew him. The bond showed me Theron's recognition. His tension. Wait, I thought through the bond. He's right there. I know. Wait. The ceremony began. The priests chanting. The crown being brought forward. I knelt. Waiting for the killing blow. It came from behind. A knife. Aimed at my spine. I moved. Twisted. Caught the attacker's wrist. Not the king. An assassin. One of many planted in the crowd. Chaos erupted. Guards moving. Wolves shifting. Fighting. But I only cared about one wolf. The king ran. tried to escape in the confusion. I shifted, chased him, through the gardens, into the forest beyond. He was fast, but I was faster, younger, motivated. I caught him at a cliff. Nowhere left to run. He shifted back, naked, defeated. You should have let me die with honor, he said. 118. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, you should have given my family the same courtesy. I shifted back. We stood facing each other. Alpha and alpha. I did what was necessary, he said. You committed genocide. I secured the throne. You built a kingdom on lies. Every kingdom is built on lies. That's how power works. Not anymore. He laughed. Bitter. You think you're different? You think you'll be better? Power corrupts, girl. Always. Give it time. You'll become just like me. No. I won't. Because I'm not alone. Theron appeared beside me. Shifted back. Standing between me and his father. It's over, Theron said. You're choosing her over your own blood. I'm choosing justice over tyranny. The king looked at his son. I raised you to rule. Trained you to lead. And this is how you repay me? You raised me to be a monster. She taught me to be a man. Something flickered in the king's eyes. Regret? Pride? Grief? Gone too fast to read. Kill me then, he said. Execute me. Make your justice complete. I looked at him. This broken king. This murderer who destroyed my family. I could kill him. Should kill him. Justice demanded it. But something stopped me. No, I said. What? Theron asked. I'm not killing him. 119. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, Sarah, he murdered your family. I know. But killing him won't bring them back. It'll just make me like him. The king smiled. Soft. I told you. Too soft to rule. No. Strong enough not to need vengeance. I turned to Theron. Exile him. Permanently. Strip his name. Make him nobody. Let him live with what he did. That's not justice. Maybe not. But it's mercy. And mercy is stronger than revenge. Theron looked at his father. You hurt her. You're nobody now. No title. No power. No legacy. And if I come back, then we kill you. Simple. Clear. Final. Guards appeared. Took the king away. I stood at the cliff edge, watching him disappear. Are you okay? Theron asked. I don't know. I thought I'd feel different. Seeing him. Confronting him. But I just feel tired. He doesn't deserve your mercy. I know. I didn't do it for him. I did it for me. The bond wrapped around us. Understanding. Support. We walked back to the gardens. The ceremony was paused. Waiting. I took my place again. Knelt. Let them place the crown on my head. It was heavy. Cold. Everything I never wanted. But when I stood and looked at my people, at Theron, at Isadora, at Marcus, at all the wolves who'd fought beside me, I felt something shift. This was right. Not what I'd chosen, but what I'd become. Queen. 120. Abandoned by the Lycan prince. Chapter 20. 2 Alphas. Theron. She was magnificent. The crown looked natural on her, like it had always belonged there. The crowd roared, accepting her, celebrating her. My mate. My queen. The bond sang with her emotions. Pride. Fear. Determination. Relief. How does it feel? I asked through the bond. Heavy. Terrifying. Right. Good answer. The ceremony continued. Oaths, declarations, political theater. But I barely heard it. Just watched her. Strong. Powerful. Mine. When it finally ended, we retreated to private chambers. Away from the crowds. The expectations. The weight. Sarah collapsed on a couch. Crown still on her head. I can't believe I'm a queen. I can. That's because you're biased. I prefer correct. She smiled. Actually smiled. First time all day. What do we do now? She asked. Now we rule.
Together.
Always together. I sat beside her. Pulled her close. 121. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, the bond hummed. Content. Complete. I'm scared, she admitted. Me too. What if I'm a terrible queen? You won't be. But what if I am? What if I make mistakes? Hurt people? Fail? Then you'll learn. Adapt. Grow. Same as every other ruler. Your father never learned. My father never had you. He ruled alone. Made himself untouchable. That's what destroyed him. She looked at me. Promise me something. Anything. Promise me we'll always be honest. Even when it's hard. Even when it hurts. No lies. No secrets. I promise. And promise me that if I start becoming like him, cold, ruthless, cruel, you'll stop me. You won't become like him. But if I do, then I'll stop you. I'll remind you who you are. What you stand for. Good. We sat in silence. Just breathing together. I love you, she said. I love you too. Even though I'm a queen now? Even though everything's complicated? Especially because of that. She kissed me. Soft. Gentle. Then harder. Desperate. The bond ignited. 6 months of stress. Of fighting. Of barely surviving. All of it pouring into this moment. 122. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, I pulled her closer. Claimed her mouth. Let the bond carry us. Theron, she gasped. Yes. The door's not locked. I don't care. Someone could walk in. Let them. She laughed. Actually laughed. The sound was beautiful. We're going to cause a scandal. Good. Queens should be scandalous. I lifted her. Carried her to the bed. We made love slowly. Carefully. Savoring each other. Through the bond, I felt everything she felt. The pleasure. The love. The perfect rightness of being together. When it was over, we lay tangled together. Sweaty. Satisfied. Alive. We survived, she whispered. We did. Everything. The rejection. The war. The trials. All of it. Together. Always together. A knock on the door. Loud. Urgent. We both groaned. Go away, I called. It's Marcus. We have a situation. Of course we did. We dressed quickly. Sarah straightened her crown. I tried not to laugh at how absurd that was. Ready? I asked. No. But let's do it anyway. We opened the door. Marcus stood there with a guard I didn't recognize. 123. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, what's wrong? Sarah asked. The Nightborn sanctuary. It's under attack. My blood went cold. By who? I demanded. We don't know. But they're asking for the queen. Specifically. Sarah's expression hardened. Then let's go. You just got crowned, I said. You're exhausted. You need rest. I'm fine. You're not fine. I can feel it through the bond. Then feel this too. She pushed determination through the connection. I'm the queen now. This is my responsibility. It's our responsibility. Good. Then come with me. We gathered forces. 20 wolves. All elite fighters. And we rode north. Toward the sanctuary. Toward whatever fresh hell awaited. The bond was quiet. Both of us focused. Preparing. What if it's a trap? I asked. Then we spring it. Sarah? I'm tired of being reactive. Tired of waiting for the next crisis. If they want me, they can have me. On my terms. The sanctuary appeared. Burning. Flames everywhere. Wolves fighting. Chaos. We charged in. The attackers were organized. Trained. Just like before. But this time, we were ready. I fought beside Sarah. Our movements synchronized. The bond letting us anticipate each other. 124. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, she was deadly. All the training from Ironwood, combined with her moonborn power. Wolves fell before her. I protected her flanks. Kept her safe. Let her do what she did best. Lead. We carved through the attackers. Reached the center of the sanctuary. Where Miriam stood. Alive. Wounded. But alive. They wanted you to come, she said to Sarah. This was a distraction. A distraction from what? Your coronation. While you're here, they're attacking the capital. No. Through the bond, Sarah felt my horror. Her own matching it. We need to go back, I said. It's too late. They're already there. Then we fight there instead. We ran. Left the sanctuary to burn. Raced back toward the capital. But I knew. Even running. Even pushing every ounce of speed. We were too late. The capital was under siege when we arrived. Not from outside. From within. The old houses. The ones who'd opposed Sarah's coronation. Who'd wanted the throne for themselves. They'd waited until she left. Then struck. They used you, I said. Got you out of position. I know. What do we do? She looked at the burning city. At the fighting. At the kingdom tearing itself apart. We end this. Once and for all. Her power exploded. Moonborn dominance radiating outward. 125. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, every wolf in the capital felt it. Stopped. Turned. Looked at their queen. Enough. Sarah's voice carried. Amplified by magic and authority. You will stop. You will kneel. You will submit. The compulsion was absolute. Irresistible. One by one, wolves dropped. Alpha and Omega alike. The fighting stopped. Sarah walked through the streets. Power blazing. Crown gleaming. A queen in truth. Finally. You challenged my rule, she said. You burned my capital. You endangered my people. She looked at the leaders. The old wolves who'd orchestrated this. Surrender now. Or die. Choose. They chose surrender. The rebellion ended in minutes. Sarah had won. Completely. Absolutely. And everyone knew it. She was the queen. No question. No contest. And I was the mate of the most powerful wolf alive. Together. Always together. 126. Abandoned by the Lycan prince. Chapter 21. The third trial. Serafina. The capital was saved. The rebellion crushed. But the cost was high. Buildings burned. Wolves dead. Trust shattered. I stood in the throne room surveying damage reports. Casualty lists. Everything we'd lost. It's not your fault, Theron said. I know. But I'm responsible anyway. They chose to rebel. Not you. I created the conditions. I wasn't strong enough. Didn't consolidate power fast enough. You were crowned yesterday. Give yourself time. But time was a luxury I didn't have. The kingdom was fracturing. Old loyalties resurfacing. Houses choosing sides. If I didn't unite them soon, civil war would tear everything apart. We need something, I said. Something that proves I'm the legitimate ruler. Beyond doubt. You have your bloodline. Your trials. Your power. It's not enough. They still see me as an outsider. An Omega who got lucky. Isadora entered. I have an idea. You're not going to like it. Tell me anyway. 127. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, marry him. Publicly. Make Theron your king. Show the kingdom you're united. Strong. A partnership. I looked at Theron. Felt his surprise through the bond. We're already bonded, I said. Bonded isn't married. Not politically. A royal wedding would solidify your rule. Show stability. It would also look like I need him to legitimize me. You do need him. Just not how they think. You need him as partner. As balance. As the thing that keeps you human. She wasn't wrong. I turned to Theron. What do you think? Through the bond, I felt his answer before he spoke. I think I'd marry you in any world. Any circumstance. Crown or no crown. Is that a yes? That's an I've been waiting for you to ask. I almost smiled. I'm the queen. I shouldn't have to ask. Then command me. Theron Silvermark. Will you marry me? Be my king? Stand beside me? Yes. To all of it. Always. The bond sang. Perfect. Right. We planned the wedding for a week later. Fast. But necessary. The kingdom needed this. Needed to see their queen stable. Supported. Strong. And maybe I needed it too. Needed the reminder that I wasn't alone. The day arrived. Sunny. Warm. The capital had cleaned up fast. I wore white. Traditional. The crown on my head. Theron wore black and gold. Looking like the prince he'd been. The king he was becoming. We stood before thousands. The entire kingdom watching. And we spoke vows. Not the political ones. The real ones. 128. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, I choose you, I said. Not because fate decreed it. Not because of prophecy or bond or bloodline. But because you're you. Because you see me. All of me. And love me anyway. I choose you, Theron echoed. Not because I have to. But because I want to. Because you make me better. Stronger. Human. We kissed. The bond blazing between us. And the kingdom roared. Approval. Celebration. Unity. For the first time since the coronation, I felt something like hope. Maybe this would work. Maybe we could do this. The celebration lasted all night. Dancing. Music. Joy. But I couldn't relax. Something felt wrong. What is it? Theron asked. I don't know. Just a feeling. Through the bond, he felt my unease. Want to leave? Can't. Not without looking weak. Then we stay alert. The attack came at midnight. Not from outside. From the guests. Wolves who'd seemed loyal revealing their true colors. They wanted me dead. Wanted Theron dead. Wanted the kingdom to burn. We fought. Again. Always fighting. But this time was different. This time other wolves fought beside us. The capital guard. The northern houses. Even some who'd been neutral. They'd chosen their queen. And they'd defend her. The battle was brutal. Quick. We won. Again. But the cost kept growing. More dead. More wounded. More broken. I stood in the aftermath. Blood-soaked. Exhausted. 129. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, when does it end? I asked. When they stop fighting you, Theron said. And when will that be? When you're so powerful, they can't imagine challenging you. I looked at the dead. At what my rule was costing. I don't want to be that powerful. Then you'll keep fighting. That's the trade. Power or peace. You can't have both. He was right. I hated that he was right. But maybe there was a third option. I need to talk to the people, I said. All of them. Not just the houses. Not just the alphas. Everyone. What are you going to say? The truth. We gathered them. The entire capital. Thousands of wolves. I stood on the palace steps. No guards. No protection. Just me. I'm tired, I said. Simple. Honest. I'm tired of fighting. Tired of war. Tired of proving myself. Silence. Listening. I didn't want this crown. Didn't ask for it. But I took it anyway. Because someone had to. Because the alternative was worse. But I can't do this alone. I can't fight every day and rule effectively. I can't be your queen and your enemy. So here's my offer. Work with me. Help me build something better. Or challenge me now. One final fight. Winner takes all. Murmurs. Shock. But also interest. I'm serious. Any wolf here who thinks they can rule better, step forward. We'll fight. Right now. And whoever wins gets the crown. No one moved. No one? I pushed. No secret pretenders? No ambitious alphas? 130. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, still nothing. Then we're done. No more rebellions. No more assassination attempts. No more war. We work together, or I walk away and let you figure it out yourselves. Finally, an old alpha stepped forward. You'd really leave? Yes. Even though you're the true bloodline? The bloodline doesn't matter if I can't lead. If you won't follow. I'd rather be nobody with a clear conscience than a queen ruling through fear. He studied me. Then knelt. I'll follow you. Not because I have to. Because I choose to. Others joined him. One by one. Kneeling. Choosing. Not all of them. Not even most. But enough. The war was over. Finally. Truly over. I'd won. Not through power. Through honesty. Through being exactly who I was. Queen. Wolf. Survivor. Enough. 131. Abandoned by the Lycan prince. Chapter 22. True Queens. Theron. She was asleep. Finally. After 3 days of meetings. Negotiations. Rebuilding. I watched her breathe. Peaceful. Vulnerable. My queen. My wife. My everything. The bond hummed softly. Content. We'd done it. Against impossible odds. We'd survive. And now came the hard part. Ruling. Marcus knocked softly. I joined him in the hall. News? I asked. The northern houses have sworn loyalty. The eastern territories are negotiating terms. And the southern pacts have requested an audience. Good. What else? Your father. He's been spotted near the western border. My chest tightened. Is he causing trouble? No. Just existing. Living as nobody like you ordered. Keep eyes on him. But don't engage unless he forces it. Understood. I returned to the bedroom. Sarah was awake. Watching me. Trouble, she asked. Always. But nothing we can't handle. We. I like that word. Me too. She sat up. The sheet falling. Beautiful. Mine. 132. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, I have something to tell you, she said. Good something or bad something? Depends on your perspective. Through the bond, I felt her nervousness. Her joy. Her fear. I'm pregnant. The world stopped. You're what? Pregnant. About 6 weeks. The healer confirmed it this morning. I couldn't breathe. Couldn't think. A baby. Our baby. Theron. Say something. I pulled her close. Kissed her. Let the bond carry everything I couldn't put into words. Joy. Fear. Love. Wonder. All of it. We're having a baby, I said. We are. A heir. To the throne. Hopefully to something better than a throne. A family. Yes. That. We held each other. The bond wrapping around us. A child. Our child. Growing inside her. Everything changed in that moment. The kingdom. The crown. The fighting. All of it secondary to this one perfect truth. We were creating a life. Together. I'm terrified, she admitted. Me too. What if we're terrible parents? We won't be. 133. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, you don't know that. I know you. I know us. We'll figure it out. Like we figure out everything else.
Together.
Always together. The bond hummed. Agreement. Promise. Forever. We announced the pregnancy a week later. The kingdom celebrated. A royal heir. A nightborn child. Hope for the future. But privately, we were just two terrified wolves, trying to prepare for something impossible. How do you parent a child who'll be the most powerful wolf alive? Sarah asked. The same way you parent any child. Love. Boundaries. Teaching them right from wrong. What if they're like your father? What if power corrupts them? Then we remind them who they are. What they stand for. Same as I do for you. I'm not corrupt. No. But you could be. Anyone could be. That's why you need people around you who tell the truth. Who keep you honest. She nodded. Understanding. The months passed. Her belly grew. The kingdom stabilized. We rebuilt. Reformed. Created something new from the ashes. And slowly, impossibly, it worked. Peace. Real peace. For the first time in decades. The baby came on a spring morning. Fast. Brutal. Natural. I held Sarah's hand through all of it. Felt her pain through the bond. Her fear. Her strength. And when our daughter finally arrived. Tiny. Perfect. Screaming. I felt something I'd never felt before. 134. Abandoned by the Lycan prince complete. She's beautiful, Sarah whispered. Like her mother. She has your eyes. And your stubbornness. I can already tell. Our daughter wrapped her tiny hand around my finger. And I knew. With absolute certainty. Everything we'd fought for. Everything we'd survive. It was all worth it for this moment. What do we name her? Sarah asked. Elena. After your mother. Tears streamed down her face. Perfect. Elena Nightborn Silvermark. Our daughter. Our heir. Our future. She would grow up in a better world. A united kingdom. A realm built on truth instead of lies. And she'd never doubt she was loved. Wanted. Chosen. We'd make sure of that. 135. Abandoned by the Lycan prince. Chapter 23. Coronation and Consequences. Serafina. Elena was 6 months old when the first real crisis hit. The Western Territories. Rebelling. Again. They didn't accept my rule. Didn't accept a Nightborn on the throne. Wanted their own kingdom. Their own laws. We could let them go, I said. Set a precedent, Isadora countered. Every unhappy pack will want independence. So we fight them? Force them to stay? Or we negotiate? Show them the benefits of unity. Theron held Elena while we debated. She grabbed his nose. He pretended to be mortally wounded. What would you do? I asked him. I'd let them try. Give them a year of independence. Then watch them come crawling back when they realize how hard it is. That's risky. Everything's risky. He was right. As usual. We let the Western Territories secede. Peacefully. With terms for rejoining if they wanted. The other territories watched. Waited. Within 6 months, the Western Pax requested to return. Independence was expensive. Dangerous. Lonely. Unity looked better. 136. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, we took them back. No punishment. Just acceptance. And the kingdom grew stronger. Elena grew too. Fast. Too fast. She walked early. Talked early. Showed signs of power even as a baby. She's going to be terrifying, Juno said. She's going to be amazing, I corrected. Same thing. I watched my daughter play. Fearless. Curious. Loved. Everything I never had. Everything I wanted for her. No regrets? Theron asked. About what? All of it. The crown. The war. Choosing this life. Every day I have regrets. Every decision I question. Every sacrifice I mourn. I looked at him. But would I change it? Would I go back to being that scared Omega in Riverside? No. Never. Even knowing what it cost? Even then. Because I got you. I got her. I got this impossible, beautiful, chaotic life. Through the bond, I felt his love. His pride. His perfect contentment. I love you, he said. I love you too. Forever. Forever. 137. Abandoned by the Lycan prince. Chapter 24. Forever bonded. Theron and Serafina. 5 years later, we stood on the same balcony where Sarah had first claimed the throne. Elena ran through the gardens below, chasing butterflies, laughing. She looked like both of us. Dark hair, golden eyes, fierce even at 5 years old. She's going to be a handful, I said. She already is, Sarah replied. Yesterday, she commanded 3 alphas to play dolls with her. They did. That's our girl. Your genes. She gets the commanding from you. My genes gave her the eyes. You gave her the power.
We gave her everything.
True. The kingdom was peaceful. Stable. Growing. Reforms had taken root. The Omega designation abolished. Pack laws rewritten. Justice instead of tyranny. It wasn't perfect. Never would be. But it was better. And that was enough. Any regrets? Sarah asked. Same question. Different answer. One. What? I regret rejecting you. I'll regret that every day of my life. She took my hand. I don't. How can you not? 138. Abandoned by the Lycan prince because the rejection made us stronger. Made us sure. If you'd accepted me that first night, we'd have bonded out of obligation. Out of fate. Out of biology. Instead, we chose each other. Despite everything. That's more powerful than any mate bond. She was right. As always. I love you, I said. I love you too. Forever. Forever. Alina's laughter carried up to us. Pure. Joyful. Free. She's going to change the world, Sarah said. Like her mother. Better than her mother. She'll have what I didn't. Support. Love. Freedom to be exactly who she is. And parents who'll love her no matter what. Especially that. We stood together. Watching our daughter. Our kingdom. Our future. The bond hummed between us. Steady. Strong. Unbreakable. We'd survived rejection. War. Trials. Everything the world threw at us. And we'd done it together. Always together. Two broken wolves who found each other. Who chose each other. Who built something beautiful from ashes. A mate bond. A kingdom. A family. Everything I never thought I'd have. Everything Sarah never thought she deserved. But we had it anyway. And we'd keep it. Protect it. Nurture it. For as long as we both live. 139. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, forever bonded. Forever choosing each other. Forever home. 140. Abandoned by the Lycan prince. Epilogue. 6 months later. Serafina. The nursery was quiet. Too quiet. I stood over Alina's bed, watching her sleep. My hand rested on my stomach. Round. Full. Another life growing. You should be sleeping, Theron said softly. Couldn't. Too much on my mind. He wrapped his arms around me from behind. Both of us watching our daughter. Boy or girl, he asked. Don't know yet. Does it matter? No. Just curious. I hope it's easier this time. Alina's birth nearly killed me. You're stronger now. So is our bond. True. 5 years of marriage. 5 years of ruling together. 5 years of choosing each other. The bond was a constant now. Like breathing. Like heartbeat. Essential. What are you thinking? He asked. About that night. The rejection. How different things could have been. Better or worse. Just different. If you'd accepted me, we'd have bonded immediately. Probably would have been happy. For a while. But we wouldn't have fought for it. Wouldn't have proven it was real beyond fate and biology. We'd always wonder if it was the bond or genuine choice. 141. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, and now. Now I know. Absolutely. You chose me. I chose you. The bond is just a bonus. He kissed my neck. Right over the mark he'd given me years ago. I choose you in every life, he said. Every timeline? Every possibility. Even knowing what it cost. What we'd have to survive. Especially then. Because surviving together is better than living apart. Elena stirred. Opened her eyes. Mama. Papa. We're here, sweetheart. Bad dream. I climbed into bed with her. Theron on the other side. We sandwiched our daughter between us. Safe. Protected. Loved. Tell us about it, Theron said. The scary man. He was back. My blood chilled. What scary man? The one who watches from the forest. With the red eyes. Theron and I exchanged looks. Red eyes meant one thing. Vampire. It's okay, I soothed. We'll keep you safe. Promise? Promise. She fell back asleep between us. But I was wide awake now. Alert. Worried. Red eyes, Theron said quietly. That's new. She's 5. Could be imagination. Or could be her power manifesting. Prophetic dreams. Your mother had them. 142. Abandoned by the Lycan prince, what do? We investigate. Quietly. And we keep her close. Agreed. We lay there. Elena between us. My hand on my pregnant belly. Darren's hand over mine. A family. A future. A purpose. And somewhere in the forest, something watched. Something dangerous. But whatever came next, vampires, prophecies, new threats, we'd face it like we'd faced everything else. Together. Always together. Bonded. Unbroken. Forever. The end. 143. Abandoned by the Lycan prince.